Warning. The Federal Communications Commission has determined the following content to be emotionally harmful.
Funny things that you think's funny aren't funny.
Give me cocks all the time. I want cocks all over me.
The Alan Cox Show kicks ass, man.
Welcome.
Show me what you got.
You're not going to see a lot of cocks on TV.
Alan Cox from the Alan Cox Show.
I don't know what it's about you, but I can't even stand your voice.
I think you're the biggest asshole alive.
It's going to be a great show.
Let's kick it. I'll say kick it, and you'll just kick it with a tasty groove, okay? 1, 2, 3, kick it. Kick it. Come on. God damn it. Could you one time kick it? What the?
Alan Cox.
Here we go. He'll ad-lib. He'll be fine.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Hey, what's going on? What's up? Good afternoon. Hi there. My name's Alan Cox. They just said it, but I'll say it again. Because why not? It's my name. Do what I want to with it. So welcome. Say hi to Bill Squire. He's here too.
Hey, creepy hugs.
Mary Santora joining us from pastoral and bucolic New York City.
What up?
There in the friendly confines of iHeartRadio New York. Mm-hmm. Bobby Pitts ever walking the halls? I know he's decamped to Miami these days, but your buddy Bobby Pitts, the CEO of this corporation, you never see him walking the halls?
I'm not at liberty to discuss.
Walking by your studio and putting a glass up with his ear on the other end and saying, what is the source of all that hilarity coming out of that room every afternoon?
Oh, he knows.
Where?
New York City.
He knows.
He knows.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad. Tell him I said hey.
I will.
And, we're still out here doing the damn thing. Hey, if you'd like to join us, please do. There's no shortage of ways that you can do that. And everybody really has their own favorite. It's rare that I will get somebody crossing the streams. You know, there are some people who only leave me messages on our voicemail. There are some people who only leave me messages on the iHeartRadio app. There are some people who only like to call live. Everybody's got a life to lead. Everybody's got their own schedule. That's why we make it, because in the end, who will remember any of this, right? You might commit it to some small part of your brain, but it's like a smoke ring. You turn around and it's gone. So join us however you like. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007. If you want to call live, you can do it there. If you want to send me a text, you can certainly do it there. I love the businesses in Northeast Ohio, and again, none of them are paying me to say anything about them. These are just anecdotal from me that I see when I'm traveling extensively all throughout Northeast Ohio. And by extensively, I mean going back and forth from work to home. And the local businesses that could have named themselves anything. The names that they chose sometimes are family names. And again, I don't know anything about the three businesses I'm going to mention to you. These are just vehicles that I have seen either in my neighborhood or on the road, and I think they deserve a shout out, if for nothing else, than the fact that they could have gone with any name. If you were going to start a company, I don't know how much work. I've never started a company, right? I've always been on someone's payroll.
You've ended some, though.
I certainly have, boy, and if you don't think that they wanted to change their name toot sweet, you are. I was the guy. Okay, I'll tell you. I was the guy behind the name change from Clear Channel to iHeartRadio. How you like that?
Wow.
I said, nope. I said, you know what you should do? You should come up with a logo that makes a microphone looks like a person's head, and then a heart around the head that makes it look like radio waves. You should do that. And everybody laughed.
Right, but who's laughing now? Stock's $1.50.
This
Take
guy
that.
right here. That's right. Why don't you talk to Bobby Pitts about that? $1.50. I didn't know it was that high. Oh, it's boom times at iHeart. Hey.
Maybe it was a penny 50. I don't know.
I mean, it's up there,
Yeah.
you know? Anyway, on my way to work, and I pass a work truck, handyman services. Now, the company is called Honey Dudes, Anybody familiar with honey dudes?
No.
Honey dudes. Now, it's the mascot there, and it's professionally painted. This isn't some guy who took a magic marker to his truck, because you see a lot of those, too. Not everybody has has got the capital to get their business up and running in a really professional way. Some people, you see this a lot with lawn services, right? People who are just getting something going. They might have scrawled something on the side of their van. Otherwise, they're towing a trailer. It's got some lawn maintenance equipment on it, and they're trying to get their business up and running. These are stories you hear about, you know. My grandpa started this business with 2 mowers and a rake, and he built it into whatever. So I passed this van, the business called, and again, I know nothing about these businesses. I've just seen the Honey Dudes. And the mascot on the side of the van is a bear, like a cute cartoon bear. And he's got suspenders on and a hard hat, and he's got holding a pencil, and there's a bee on the pencil. So they're double dipping on the honey part. Now, I don't understand the honey part. Again, you can name your business anything. The dudes part I get. The honey part, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm curious how they arrived at that. Honey Dudes is one. Now, there are a couple of houses down from me that are always having some kind of work done. And especially since where I live, we got 2 tornadoes a number of weeks ago. So they were all, I mean, we had work trucks of every variety around us all the time. Now, mind you, it was 4 or 5 days before we saw an actual power company work truck, but that didn't stop other work trucks from being in the neighborhood. And a couple doors down from me was a van for Butts Plumbing, who are in Avon. And again, I don't know anything about these companies. I've just seen the work trucks, Butts Plumbing, Butts. You could have, I'm sure it's a family name. God bless them. As somebody who grew up with the name Cox, I know whence you come. But you could have called it anything. And then I think one I sent you guys a picture of, Dick Esser.
Yep.
That is a plumbing and heating organization.
I've seen Dick Esser all over the place.
and again, it's another name.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that listen, I have always taken some small amount of pride in the fact that I didn't change my name for showbiz, all right? Yes, I had my brief dalliance with Alan Slade. That was a month 30 years ago, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I tried it on, didn't fit.
I think bring it back.
I
think bring it back and go be a little league
umpire
again,
yeah.
as Alan Slade.
Go get in Alan Slade's face. And so I always want to give it up for people who are like, I could have called this anything. I could have called my business A1. You know, back in the day, that's how they did it to game. Before everybody's trying to game the algorithms, companies were trying to game the yellow pages. That's why you'd go in, that you'd open up the yellow pages and they were like A1 plumbing, and then there'd be AA1 plumbing, and there'd be AAA1 plumbing. You wanted to be first in the alphabet in the yellow pages. I know the yellow pages technically exist. I don't know how or why anymore, but I don't know if that's still the case. So just a handful of local businesses that I think they deserve all the accolades for naming themselves what they did. Because, like I said, I kept my name in showbiz because I thought, well, if I ever achieve any modicum of success, my parents will be pleased that I kept the name. Now, as it turns out, I'm sure that they were nothing short of embarrassed that I kept the name because from time to time it probably reflects poorly on the family. Nevertheless, not an easy name to be out there with publicly. So I feel a kinship with these organizations. I'm still perplexed by the honey and the van. But good for them, too.
It's a honeydew list.
What's that? You think that's maybe what it is?
That's
probably.
Yeah.
Honey dudes, honeydew. Yeah, okay. Well, that would explain it. That is an explanation, and that's one that I can accept. But
or they got sticky fingers and they're going to steal your stuff.
Well, there's a bear and there's a bee, and listen, don't get me wrong. This cartoon bear looks hard working.
That's classic. Didn't your dad ever teach you about the bears and the bees?
The bears and the bees. No, my mom taught me that. I don't know that my dad and I ever had a conversation. We had one conversation about it when I was much, much older. So it wasn't an informational speech. It was when my dad was chastising me some years later.
Oh.
As a young
For being
man.
a young slut?
Yes, that's right.
Was it really?
It really was. Yep.
Are you a bear or a bee, son?
Well, my dad was not anybody who was ever prone. Neither of my parents are prone to expletives. My dad was military. My mom, it was a great source of pride for me when I got old enough where my mom didn't mind that I was telling jokes that had expletives in them. Now, not the F word. My mom contends that she has never said the F word. So the F word and Jesus Christ, that kind of stuff wasn't a hip in my house.
Or goddamn.
But
that
there
was a
were
problem yesterday.
that too, right? But over the course of my adult life, I've let a couple of Fs slip in front of my mom, and she'll kind of give me the cock eye, but she won't say anything about it. But I felt terrible because it's her house. I'm not going to do it. But one time I heard my dad use the F word with me as a verb when he was chastising me for the way that I was currently behaving at that time. And I'm sure he was trying to try to instill something a little bit more honorable in me. And I don't know that it took. Nevertheless, there it is. Congratulations to those businesses. But the consensus among the texters and our own Bill Squire seems to be a play on honeydew list. So thanks. And listen, if you see them out there, I don't know anything about them. Again, and it's hashtag not an ad. In no way am I telling you to do anything with them. But there's a lot of people who are just suckers for cartoon bears. And how could they not be? Well, I've got a break. Hey, if you want to go see the band In This Moment, I will have those tickets for you a little bit later on. I'm going to hook you up for our cruise the day after tomorrow. Captain Fun's Floating Fandango is now just a couple of days away, and the last handful of tickets to be given out. So we'll do that later on as well. 35192. Want to text me for anything, and we'll be back.
This is the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever smart device you have. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, and $1,000.
You'll be there for a weekend full of superstar performances. Big Sean,
Camila Cabello, Doja Cat, Dua Lipa, Gwen Stefani, Halsey,
Hosier, Keith Urban,
New Kids on the Block,
Paramore,
The Black Crows,
Thomas Rhett.
Victoria Monet.
never before seen collaborations.
and once-in-a-lifetime moments you'll have to see to believe.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
September 20th and 21st.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now, starting at just $55 plus taxes and fees at AXS.com.
Keep listening. The next chance to win your way there and $1,000 spending cash is coming up.
You have to see this to believe it.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
And now another insurance story from...
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Why is it raining inside?
It's not raining. Our upstairs neighbor tried to fix his own sink. It didn't go well. Now his broken pipes are flooding our apartment.
Oh, so we're just out of luck.
Nah, I got us renter's insurance from Smart Bunny. When we moved in, I downloaded the Smart Bunny app and got coverage in just 60 seconds.
It was that easy?
Seamless. I guess we're lucky to have it.
Seems more smart than lucky.
Well, I didn't want to toot my own horn.
Your horn is underwater anyway.
Get up to $100,000 of personal liability coverage and up to $40,000 of contents insurance with only a $250 deductible for as low as $15 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some renter's insurance.
Oh, look, the ceiling is collapsing.
We're covered.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
A Gain Scent Bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain Scent Beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain Scent Beads. Try Gain Scent Beads, way fresher than detergent alone.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Check your mailbox this month for a brand new savings experience. Market Magazine is becoming Clip, an even easier way to save across Northeast Ohio. And you get rewarded for supporting businesses in our community. Your very first reward, a chance to win $5,000. Go to clip.com/sweeps to enter now. That's CLIPP.com.
100.7 WMMS.
Guardians are playing as we speak, by the way. Yankees had hot bats last night.
Yeah, it's continuing today.
Yeah, 8-1 was the final last night. Series ends now bottom of the fourth. It's 1-0 Yankees. And the Guardians will come home tomorrow, and they'll have a few teams in town. They'll host the Rangers this weekend, the Royals beginning of next week, and then the Pirates will be in town Labor Day weekend before the Guardians themselves head to Kansas City. So tomorrow night here on the Buzzard, 7:10, Guardians baseball. Right after Mary Santora with us live in studio tomorrow here in Cleveland, Ohio, where she will be privy to, for the first time in some time, the live Bill Squire Friday Get Down.
Oh, it's been a while.
And if nothing else, Mary's Get Down Blue Balls will be taken care of tomorrow.
That's how we're referring to him.
Yeah.
Gross.
You'll get that release you've been dying to get.
Ew, stop.
Well, listen, Tuesdays are already carved out for hot, frothy goss, Mary. So when Friday comes, it's not often that you're in here with us. Of course, Mary, all three of us will be on the cruise on Saturday afternoon.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. By the way, it has been confirmed that they will have non-alcoholic beverages, Mary.
I saw.
Right?
Very exciting.
They're going to have some NA beers.
Perfect.
For you quitters.
Hey.
I mean that in the most positive way possible. So we were able to confirm that for Mary. And so if you, I only mention this for the people who will be joining us on the Good Time 3 on Saturday afternoon. If you happen to be walking by and you see Mary, or she saunters up to you and you strike up a conversation with her, if you see her drinking anything other than a non-alcoholic beer, I want you to swat it out of her hand.
Unless
swat
it's water.
Nope. Swat it out of her hand.
I'm not allowed to have water?
So, we don't know what's in that water. It could be boozy water.
No boozy water.
It could be boozy water.
I don't think so.
Somebody might spike your H2O.
Listen.
They might add an H or an O.
This weekend is not the weekend for a relapse, all right? Maybe one day, not this weekend.
Not this weekend.
what day?
Well, like if they say there's a meteor coming and we're all going to die.
Yeah,
I don't even that doesn't even count. If there's a meteor coming, like that's not even a relapse. That's just like
extraneous circumstances.
Yeah, I've said that. If
Yeah,
I
I know.
get diagnosed with a terminal illness or if the world's going to end, then yeah, balls to the wall. But Alan Cox Show floating fandango? No.
Do it again. It's branding, Mary. You should know.
Alan's boat time with meatballs.
Closer. Do it again.
Captain Fun's Circle K boat time adventure.
Although Fundango was right there looking right at me, wasn't it? Right there.
Come on.
Captain Fan's Floating Fundango, presented by Circle K, will be Saturday afternoon. I still need to figure out what my post-cruise party is going to be. You guys
You still have the invitation. Both of you have the invitation to come swimming at Squifle Tower.
I know, and I appreciate that, but I don't know. That's not, it's not like it's not something where I'm going to be hanging out. I'm doing something with the listeners. Is what I'm saying.
I might be bringing my mom, so I don't know. That
Your mom?
Your mom can come swim.
It's either going to be my
She'll
mom
actually
does not
fit in.
swim.
She'll fit in better at the pool than most people because there's so many old people in my building.
She's very scared of water.
She's very scared of water?
Yeah, she never learned to swim, so that was something we always did with my dad.
I didn't
my dad
either, but
was
I mean,
the
I
one.
can hang in a pool.
But it freaks her out that somebody's going to drown, and she's like, "I can't save you if you drown."
Wow.
So, my dad was always the one who took us to any kind of water activities, but it's either her or Brian. I don't know. My
I have
mom
a really
hasn't
good
answered
method.
my call yet.
We can get her used to water. What we do is we'll lay her down and put a cloth over her face and just pour a little water at a time, and then she'll get used to being in water, and then she won't be scared of swimming anymore.
I don't think that's how that works.
You don't think that's how that works?
I don't think. I'm not sure, but I don't think that's how that goes.
I don't know. I think it'd work. I think we should try it. Just run it by her.
I'll ask. She hasn't called me back, so I'll ask.
Okay. So she's scared of pools, too.
She's not scared of water. She just
You just said
doesn't-
she's scared of water.
No, she is not for like herself. She's afraid of like a person drowning and her not being able to help.
Well, she doesn't have to help because everybody that is going to be there knows how to swim.
Knows how to swim.
Yeah.
She probably won't get deputized in an emergency.
No one's died in the pool since I've lived there, so I think she'll be like. I don't think it's going to happen this week.
He just makes her nervous.
We're just standing around.
All right, well, there it is then, kids, for this weekend if you're going to be part of the pool after party at Squifle Tower. No one has died yet in the pool.
Since I've lived there.
Since you've lived there. You think someone has died in that pool?
That pool's been there for 60 years, so I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know all the stats on it, but I'm just saying so I've had my condo for almost 5 years now and lived there for a year and a half before that. So going on no way to know how long I've actually lived there, but
there
has been no drownings or deaths in the pool since I've lived there.
As there always is, my divorce apartment.
Of humans, there have been some squirrels that I felt real bad for.
No, I'm talking about humans. I mean, anybody who's ever lived, my divorce apartment was in Pittsburgh was a building that was populated almost entirely by old people. And some of those people have lived there for a long time. There has to be a way for you to determine who the longest living resident of that building is. And then ingratiate
I think he just
yourself.
passed away, actually.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Well,
if I see him,
next oldest then, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Current
I'll
oldest.
have to, because there was one guy that he moved in there when it opened, and he's lived there since. He told me the one day, I was like, oh, I'm the first one in the pool for this summer, and he's like, I was the first one in that pool ever.
That was his flex.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, you got me beat by a lot.
So this is a single guy.
Just an older guy.
Confirmed. But if he's living there for 50 years,
he might have had a wife that's dead.
Is she drowned in the pool?
No. Oh, maybe.
Well, this is what I'm saying. You should find whoever the oldest current resident is.
Yeah.
And find out if anyone
that's
has
lived
ever
there the longest too, because there's some people that are old that only lived there. Like Grandma's only been there for 10 years.
Well, okay, but I mean, who's lived there the longest?
Yeah.
And then find out if anybody has ever died in that pool. Because that would be an amazing story.
It would be.
Because they're going to gaze out onto the lake as they tell you the story. And at some point, a single tear will drop down the cheek, and they'll just gaze off wistfully into the setting sun.
I thought you meant like gaze on the lake.
G-A-Z-E, not
because there's a Facebook group. There's the gaze on the lake
G-A-Y-Z.
that hang out in that area.
But is that G-A-Y-Z?
Got a little of both.
Oh, okay. Well, that's...
Booty is where the doo-doo is, boy.
Okay, okay. Well, then look into that and see if anybody's ever died in the pool. They tried to make a haunted pool movie, and it was terrible. Anybody watch Night Swim? That was terrible.
There was a M. Night Shyamalan pool movie. What was that? Deep or
Lady in the Water.
Lady in the Water. Something
Didn't see
like
that.
I never saw it either.
No, Night Swim, this is what happens when they take a very compelling short film off of YouTube and go, man, this was so good in 2.5 minutes. We should make it 90 minutes and get well-known actors to be in it. And somebody goes, yeah, sounds good. And you watch it and you're like, come on, don't do this to me.
What the hell?
By the way, this year, the 40th anniversary, I was reading of the movie Red Dawn. Anybody remember Red Dawn? They've since remade it.
Yeah.
This came out when how old was I then? The Wolverines.
It was the first ever PG-13 movie, wasn't it?
It was. I couldn't remember that, by the way, until I was reading this thing. I was thinking that Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was the first PG-13 movie. But it wasn't. That's what made Indiana Jones so bonkers. It was PG. That's the one that freaked all the kids out because he reaches into this dude's chest and pulls his heart out. The stuff they used to squeeze into PG movies, boy, was unbelievable. But Red Dawn, about Russians invading the United States, right? This was classic 80s Cold War paranoia. Every movie, the bad guys were the Russians. That's what made people all nervous after 9/11, because they were like, hey.
Who are the bad guys going to be in the movies now?
Well, they've had a pretty good run of the bad guys being white and Russian. And then after 9/11, they were like, well.
I feel like that. Actually, I feel like that switched more in the 90s anyway.
Yeah, but that
was after the wall came down and all that stuff. it did get more Middle Eastern because of
Afghanistan.
But
Yeah.
also you had, like the original attack on the Twin Towers.
Yeah, that's true.
There's that one. And
Yep.
then, so I just
When the
always
van
think of-
bomb went off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like True Lies, it was Crimson Jihad,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then, but post 9/11, they were like, okay, we can't make every movie with the bad guys being Muslim or whatever. But Red Dawn was in fact the first PG-13 movie, and it was Patrick Swayze, and it was Charlie Sheen, and it was.
It's a good movie.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Who's the girl?
Isn't it? It's not Ali Sheedy, is it?
Might be.
Red Dawn. Because they remade it a few years ago.
Is Sean Astin in that too?
Jennifer Grey is in.
Oh, Jennifer Grey, yeah.
Yep.
That's pre-Ferris Bueller, right?
No.
Wasn't Ferris Bueller 87?
Oh, well, yeah, maybe it was. Summer of 1984 is what it came. Yeah. Leah Thompson was in it too.
That's right.
Right?
And that's before Back to the Future?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it was a guy named John Milius is the guy who directed it. He did Conan the Barbarian and a handful of things.
That was what my second oldest brother's. That was one of his favorite movies. So
Red Dawn.
Yeah, we had it taped off of television.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if we taped it off of like one with commercials or we got like a HBO free preview and taped it off of that. But we never actually owned a copy of it. It was just taped off of the TV.
Well, I remember when Red Dawn came out, I was probably 13 years old. And so I, of course, was able to see it because it was PG-13 and I could go see it. And so I went with a few friends. And for the remainder of that summer, I just remember that it was a huge priority for all of us to make sure we had a plan in case Russian paratroopers invaded Chicago.
Yeah, it's like everybody has their
any time. Yeah, you got your escape plan for tornadoes and storm stuff.
or
We had to have a
zombies or something
Ruski
like
plan.
that. Yeah, you gotta know how to hide and get away. And
that's right.
When in the mountains,
We had to know how to do all that stuff. And
you had
so
to learn how to work rocket launchers.
this is why I contend that Red Dawn, especially if you're a Gen Xer, because that's what I am, I think that Red Dawn was what kickstarted for people of my generation the whole doomsday prepping thing.
Which would you
was
rank
Red
higher?
Dawn.
As far
Weren't
as
there always people doomsday prepping?
Well,
them?
there
I
were,
thought
but
they've been around forever.
But they were relegated to. I mean, in the atomic age, there were
He's
people
talking
in
about
underground bunkers.
His
my generation.
This is what they saw, and they go, "We got to be ready."
Yes,
for anything.
they were like, whoa. You knew the kids that were getting really crazy because they were like digging a pit in their backyard, and throwing scissors into it or whatever.
As
Because
far
they were.
as Cold War 80s paranoia movies, which one would you rank higher, War Games or Red Dawn?
Oh, War Games.
War Games?
Because people weren't really hip to computers in that way yet, right? And so the notion of, this is when they're putting the phone handset on the modem.
Yeah.
And so the notion, Russians coming out of the sky, you can shoot them down.
Right.
Computers in the early 80s, people had no idea what was going on. The computer
Even the people that wrote that movie had no idea.
They had no idea what was
going.
Didn't know how to end it. They didn't know how to. Yeah.
I'm going to give it to Red Dawn just because I think there's more action. But War Games is also a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Which I only watched that for the first time, I think, last year.
Shall we play a game?
Yeah.
John Lithgow and Matthew Broad. Who was the girl in that?
Oh.
Not Elizabeth Shue.
No.
War Games.
War Games.
Somebody will tell me.
War Games.
Female lead in War. Oh, it was Ali Sheedy.
That was Ali Sheedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's very exciting. But 40th anniversary, they're going to put it back in theaters for a hot minute, and they're going to put it out on some Blu-ray thing and all kinds of fun stuff. Hello.
Oh, crap.
Hello, Bill.
Hi, who's this?
Bill is your friend Timothy Musgrove.
Oh, hey. Hi, Timothy.
Formerly of Cleveland Cavaliers.
You sure are.
Remembers me.
You should be formally of calling the Alan Cox Show. What's up, bud?
Shut up, Bill. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you were making some smart-ass comment.
I'm just saying how excited I am to hear from you.
I heard you talking about the War Games.
Yeah.
And, Red Dawn.
Which one do you like better?
Red Dawn.
Yeah?
It's my favorite love story, Bill.
Love story.
We come in and kick everyone's ass in America.
Hey, at the end, you lose.
Shut up, Bill.
To kids.
Well, I was, because I grew up in St. Petersburg, Florida, of course.
Oh.
You know, that's where I grew up. It was from
Yeah.
Florida. And so I watched a movie. I was very torn when we watched War Games and Red Dawn, quite frankly. With Red Dawn, I go, that looks like something I would like to do.
Like the
I dressed up that
overthrow government?
Yes, I dressed up that Halloween as bad guy.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, good guy, Russian. Russian for the good guys, Bill.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one.
Red Dawn, also movie that got me into basketball.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How so?
Because there was a scene with a basketball in the corner.
And that's what made you, as a person that
I looked at the
you're like, that's what I'm gonna do.
That looks fun.
You're like, I would love to be around that game.
I probably-
I'd love to get paid millions of dollars to not play that game.
They pay me, Bill. They don't play me.
I know it's.
I would like
the
to,
dream job, man.
I would like to do that instead of. Seems like make more money than invading United States.
Yeah.
More money.
Yeah, like $20 million for one season that you didn't even play.
That was the best year of my life, Bill. Best year of my life.
Sounds amazing.
Did you see me at DNC?
No, you were at the DNC.
I was.
Doing what?
It was not the political thing. It was a beat convention. I was.
Oh, the BNC.
BNC. That's right.
Okay, sorry. I
The
didn't know.
beat convention, Bill.
Were there donkeys there too?
Shut up, Bill.
You called me, man.
I know, right? God.
Sure.
People are so prickly. Why does everybody have to be
Here
so
I'm
prickly?
trying to find about the Beat National Convention.
It's a terrible name.
It is.
The branding around this place is god awful. All right, I got to take a break. You want to send me a text, 35192. AlanCoxShow.com. Live stream is there. You can watch, and you can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
We got stuff. You want stuff. Win stuff. This week at WMMS.com.
Register to win a
from the Bath Authority Studios.
100.7 WMMS, Cleveland.
All right, you want to go see In This Moment. They're on the God Mode Tour. That's the latest album, dropped last year. Sweaty goth metal at its finest with a lot of special guests. Kim Dracula, Nathan James, and a band called Mike's Dead. They get right to the point. In This Moment is your headliner. It's going to happen Thursday, December the 5th, over at the Agora. AgoraCleveland.com for all the info. So come and get them. Caller 10. This pair is for you. Good luck. 2 for In This Moment. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Have you ever been impregnated with excitement? Well, it looks like you're showing. Welcome back to your new daddy, Alan Cox.
On WMMS.
All right. That Maria Brink, boy. Good for her. I will have tickets for you in about 1/2 hour if you want to join us on Saturday afternoon for the Alan Cox Show cruise. What's it called, Mary?
Oh, the Boat Time Availability Tour.
That's right. The BAT is going to be heading out on Lake Erie this afternoon of the 24th. She completely threw me off with that. I don't know what. We switched to the Good Time 3 this year, as it is the largest passenger luxury ship in Cleveland. And a handful of people have asked me, Alan, why did you switch to a bigger boat? And I said, well, because we're a good decade into doing this event, and it's so much fun. But the last few years that we did it, of course, you might have seen photos online and in the paper about how many people had to hang on the side of the boat the whole time because we simply didn't have enough room to accommodate. And sure, embarrassing for us, but a mistake that I was not going to make again. So we're going to board the Good Time 3 on Saturday afternoon, right there by the Rock Hall. That's where it docks. It's all brought to you by Circle K. So I've been telling people the 3 things you should have with you: a bit of cash, have a card, and have the Circle K Inner Circle app on your phone, and you will be covered.
Why should they have that app?
Because there are so many special things you can get, not only on the boat, but it's going to tell you when you get cheap gas at Circle K and everything. I've got it on my phone right now.
Good.
If I were dared to do so, I could open it up.
I dare you to open it up.
69-cent. Nice. Polar Pop.
Oh, I thought that was gas. I was like, damn.
No.
Damn, I'm about to fill up some of this cheap-ass gas.
You like Celsius drinks? Those are pretty tasty. The strawberry coconut. Buy 3 for $6. Whatever all the Inner Circle rewards are there, you're going to find out. But if you have the app on the boat, we'll have some things for you, too. So anyway, WMMS.com will have all of the information for you. If you listen to us on the iHeartRadio app, thanks. Steve listens in China Grove, North Carolina. Barron is a bureau chief in Scroggins, Texas.
I know Scroggins.
You've been to Scroggins, Texas?
No.
Oh, you know somebody with that name?
The last name's Scroggins.
Really? Scroggins?
Yeah.
I like that name.
Isn't that actor you guys like? Walter Scroggins?
That's Walton Goggins.
Oh.
What did she call him?
Walter Scroggins?
Walter Scroggins is what
that
she
him?
called him.
No.
No. Mary, if you don't know.
Now you know.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go.
What's outside?
You're going to find out. That's where Walter Scoggins is going to take you.
Okay.
Ken listens in Charlotte. I heard from Bonnie, by the way. She is one of our bureau chiefs in suburban Atlanta. She goes, I live in northwest suburban Atlanta, and you guys were talking about how there was a shortage of Little League umpires. This was originally sent to me because they said, hey, you have experience doing this. They can't get enough umpires and refs because it's such thankless work because of all these angry parents. And she sent me a photo of a sign posted where her son played Little League. And it's a big old sign. And this is for the adults. These are kids. This is a game. Parents should cheer for everyone. The umpires are human. You and your child do not play for the Braves. These are for grown-ups, by the way. They have a URL at the bottom. If you still have questions about how to behave, please refer to our code of conduct on this website. So I don't know how common something like this is now, but the fact that it has to be posted for the parents, not for the kids, you know, I'm sure they have separate signs for the kids, something to the effect of, hey, kids, whatever. But thank you, Bonnie. Something to think about. A parental behavior sign or a reminder to let you know that if you're out there screaming, either at your child or someone else, it just makes it a less enjoyable experience. Again, you cannot believe that this has to be told to grown human adults who, by all accounts, are walking around, driving, they have jobs, they pay bills, right? They're doing all kinds of things. Just a certain portion of them can't not scream at sporting events. Very emotional. You know, our own Mary Santora, she'll be in here tomorrow, but of course she lives in New York City.
Correct.
Which, and I didn't know this because I don't know everything about New York, but I was
New York City.
reading an article. It turns out it's very expensive to live there. I don't know that anybody, no one told you.
Not a single person.
I know. And that's why when Mary first announced that she was going to make the move at the beginning of this year, we kind of crowdsourced some information from people. We have bureau chiefs in New York City, among the 5 boroughs. And we're like, hey, does anybody have information that might be useful to Mary upon her big, big move? Not one person told us that it was more expensive to live in than Cleveland.
Nobody.
And that was a missed opportunity, I think. Again, it's on us.
Nobody's trying to think about the traffic either.
Nope, or parking.
It's on us to do the research. But the article I was reading about how it's so impossible to live there that old people are taking on roommates.
Oh.
And there's a new word for it. They're called boom mates.
Oh.
Because they're all boomers. Rent surge drives 86-year-old to move in with a boom mate because housing costs are insane. A guy who is 68 years old, works in an architect's office, and lives in a 4th-floor walk-up, got himself a new roommate, an 86-year-old man. So here are 2 guys, one's 68, the other one's 86, 2 single guys, and they need to share an apartment.
And the 86-year-old's got to do a 4-floor walk-up?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's New York people all do that.
I mean,
live in
you have
this
no choice.
Insane. Yeah, I know, but they're just like, that's just part of their life.
Yeah, going up steps. Yep. But boom mate is the new. Now I don't know how.
I did a 6th-floor walk-up when I was in the Philippines, but I was 21 years old, so it was like whatever. But doing that at 86, that's whew.
You can barely walk at 86.
You get your steps in. Well, maybe that'll keep you flexible. You know, that is the key to longevity. Strength and flexibility, Mary. Here you are. Oh, I live on the ground floor. I don't have to take any steps.
Dude, there's still so many stairs in the subways and everywhere. There's a lot of stairs.
That's good.
Start with me.
That's how you stay flexible. That's how you stay strong. Now, at some point, when you end up making considerably more money, you're going to want to move on to the island.
Obviously.
And then you will probably, if you can't move into a building blessed with an elevator, you'll probably be in a walk-up.
But would you rather live in Manhattan or stay in Queens where you could get more for your money probably?
It depends on the timeline of this.
Yeah.
I'd rather move back home and come to New York a couple times a year.
That wasn't one of the
That's
options.
not the option.
Well, that's my choice, and it's my life.
If I were a
Not
single,
anymore.
if I were a
in this
single
scenario,
guy,
it is our life that we own. That we've given
My
you 2
body,
choices.
my choice.
You got to live in Queens. You got to live in Manhattan, and you're making enough money to afford a pretty good apartment.
I'd
in
probably
either
live
one.
in Manhattan.
Yeah, of course.
Just to cut the train ride. dude.
everywhere is
It's-
fun when you've got money to live there.
And you can walk.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I complain about walking, but it's because it takes me 15 minutes to get to my 45-minute train ride. Whereas if I'm in the city, there's not really anywhere I'm going that would be more than, either a 15-minute walk or a 20-minute train ride.
You walk for 15 minutes, then you sit for 45.
Yeah.
And then you walk for another 15.
Yeah. Well, no, the walk from train to work is only like 5 minutes. It's like
Okay.
one block. That's not bad. But yeah, it's not a quick trip.
Well,
I
but
leave my house between like 11 and 12 every day.
Have you considered Heelys?
No, you know what my niece did though? She wore them in New York the first day that we were here, and I was like, "Hey, dude, those probably aren't the best." She's 12. Those aren't the best shoes to wear. She's like, "Well, they got wheels on them, and I want to wheel around the city." I said, "Yeah, but they're heavy." I was like, "We're gonna do so much walking."
And it's not like it's all even pavement.
Right. And sure enough, like 2 hours into us being gone, I was like, and by the way, there is no going home to change. So by like 2 hours, I was my feet hurt. These shoes are. I was like, I told you. So Heelys aren't exactly top-notch travel here.
You can't even walk down Euclid, for Christ's sake, and not break your legs. You know, like if you just take a walk down Euclid here, like the pavement is so uneven. I don't know what's happening down there. It's like after the Ghostbusters came out of the ground. I'm like, why is the concrete so uneven? Just walking down the sidewalk, each giant piece of concrete is at a different angle. I'm like, what is going on here?
It's the
Maybe
weather.
we should. What? It's not the weather.
Yes,
it
it
is
is.
not. No, it's not. It's like that year round.
Right, but it's not. It doesn't start like that. It gets like that because water gets in the cracks and then the freezes and it jumbles stuff up.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that doesn't help, but it was already jacked up right down here. If you walk between wherever we are here, what is that, 6th or
That's 6th,
yeah.
yeah.
You walk between that and Public Square down Euclid. It's like you're doing goddamn parkour. And I don't understand it. So I'm sure the weather doesn't help that situation, but it's so weird. You know, because you see so many people downtown on scooters. I'm like, wow, bro, you are taking your life in your hands on one of those scooters.
I walked over that way the other day, and I didn't notice this.
There's dips and hills and valleys. Maybe you were so enthralled by everything going on around you, the environment and the electricity in downtown Cleveland.
The funny bus did drive by, so I had to yell at them, get their attention.
Had to.
Have to.
Did you yell at them?
Oh, yeah.
What did you say?
I said, hey.
Hey, I've been on that.
That's the Big Lots guy, because there was Darjan.
Yeah, he's in a Big Lots
in a Big
commercial.
Lots commercial. I'm like, are you the guy from Big Lots? He's like, shut up, Bill.
You blew up his spot. So I don't know if the boom mates trend is going to take off in a big, big way. But listen, there's no shortage
I'd
of
watch
stories.
that reality show.
Yeah.
I watched two New York boomers that don't want to live together. Oh, yeah. Edit
Well-
that down to a nice half-hour episode.
Yeah, they talked to both of them, and they were like, look, we get along.
For
but
now.
we just
It's
split the
only the
red. We
beginning, yeah.
kind of stay out of each other's way. Alan Ferber is 86, and Dan Yafet is 68 years old. Raising housing prices make living alone unaffordable. And so the boom mate trend is blowing up. And that is kind of part and parcel, too, of living in a massive place like New York, where you go, there's really no end. There's really no, like, towards the end of your life when things get easier, right? Some people go, oh, I can't wait to retire. I'm going to do this. It's some places where you live, especially a place like that, it's always going to be something. Always going to be something.
Yeah.
You're 86. There's no kicking
But-
back, putting your feet up, but
The people who are here when they're that old have probably never left.
Right.
So it's all that they know.
this guy probably had to leave like a rent-controlled apartment from the 20s. He probably been, I didn't see anything about that, but a lot of those people, for a long time, were in rent-controlled apartments. So you'd have these old women in these massive brownstones, and they're paying $200 a month because they've been there since the 30s. And then all of like the anti-rent control legislation, because landlords hate that crap. They're like, hey, we want to tear this building down and make it condos because it's all about new development. They kick these old ladies out. And they're like, well, now where do I go? Because the place that I was in that cost me $200 a month, anywhere else, it's going to cost me $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're already eating Alpo or whatever.
Oh.
What are they going to do? Hey, fixed income, man. It's a bitch.
My buddy just moved in a roommate, and now he pays $230 a month for his apartment.
Nice.
I'm just like,
Where is that? Here?
That's in West Park.
Huh.
How big is this apartment?
It's a.
And why does he need a roommate?
It's a side by side. He just was, he's just being frugal.
Good for him.
And his friend needed a place to live, and so he's like, okay, you move in here, and yeah.
Yeah, if I were single, when
West
I
Park,
was,
it's a big house actually.
I mean, I would not care where I lived. I just wouldn't care if it were just me. I live in some real hellholes, boy, and I don't care. That was 30 years ago. I wouldn't care now if it were just me. So when you talk about like, well, would you rather live in Manhattan or yeah, absolutely. Yes. You get around easier, whatever. You don't have to take that 45-minute train.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to miss that 25 square feet you're giving up in Queens.
Yeah, right.
You're
Yeah.
gonna miss that entryway.
Yeah. That 25 square feet never looks bigger than when you don't have it anymore.
So I'm just chuckling a little bit, as gross as the whole matter is. I'm listening to Rover for a little. So I'm just chuckling a little bit, as gross as the whole matter is. I'm listening to Rover for a little bit before I throw a podcast on the radio instead, and they're talking about bed bugs and how they have confirmed bed bugs are in the, at least in their studio, if not the whole iHeart portion. And my first and main thought is, oh my God, Alan's going to burn the place to the ground, especially as this develops any further. That's it. I just wanted to just let you know bed bugs are back in the fray again. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I was getting messages from people this morning before Rob even texted me. Hey, man, just want to let you know, I haven't place checked. I'm like, okay. I mean, I said what I had to say about it the last time this happened. I can't believe it's happening again, but okay. And we were in a different studio last time, too. We were at the exact opposite end.
Yeah.
We were in the
you're
street
right
side
there.
studio. Well,
Yeah.
now I'm a few doors down.
Yeah.
So
I'm more worried because I do some prep stuff in one of the studios that another member of that show uses from time to time. So I'm trying to avoid that because I don't want any cross-contamination. So I did not use that studio today.
Well,
Hopefully
the text I got this morning was that they're having the building checked and Jeffrey's not allowed back in the building until that whole thing. I'm like, okay.
If he's not fixing the problem at his house, it's never going to get fixed. He's going to continue to bring them in.
I guess. I don't understand. I mean, given the frequency with which this company fires people, the level of accommodation that other people receive around here is astounding. I don't know what the upside is of requiring this place to be repeatedly fumigated. I don't know what the upside of that is.
Content.
What content? Bed bugs again? Here,
he brings
we'll be
a
right
lot
back.
to that show.
He
does a lot. Now, he doesn't do a lot.
I'll take your word for it. But how important do you
have?
have to be? I have some pretty important people on this show, I think, and far fewer of them.
Since when?
And if I were like, oh, bed bugs again.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. It's his show. Who knows? I don't know what that costs, Rover. I'm sure it's not fun. It's not fun for anybody over there either. You know, when our studios were in Independence, we had our own hallways, and we were all in a different part of the floor from all the other departments. We were all spread out. So they could do puke cannons and skid mark soccer balls all morning long if they wanted to, and that'll befriend me. Well, we moved down here because the company wanted to shrink their square footage. So we went from 30,000 square feet to 10, and there are no hallways. So I have to think it's unlikely to affect us down here. But there are desks right outside all of our studios. And if I was somebody at a desk across from that studio, I'd be screaming blue murder. So I don't know what's happening down there. It's not really any of my business. But everybody was blowing me up about it.
I mean, it becomes your business when it's something like this.
Well, I have no experience with bed bugs.
They're a
Maybe they're not. I mean, the way that it's treated around here, maybe they're really not a big deal. I don't know.
No, they are.
Okay, well then why are we going through this again?
I don't know about an office space, but in a house, like I had bed bugs and I had to It was like 6 months of treatments where they come in, they do the initial one, and then it's every 4 weeks. They come back, they spray, they do they check everything. You had, at least with the company I hired, I had to take all of my stuff, all my clothes, anything fabric, put it in the dryer so that way it would kill them, and then take everything out of off my bed, put it all in the bathroom so they could come in and spray once a month. It's not an easy process to go through, which is probably why he hasn't done it and continues to have bed bugs.
Yeah. Well, okay. I guess
I understand. I'd be frustrated.
I'll let them contend with that. Again. Okay. Hey, on to happier things. We're going to get out on the lake on Saturday afternoon. What's the boat called, Mary?
It is the boat of the river of the lake of Cleveland. Wait, I'm
What
not
is it?
done.
It turned into a Tolkien novel
I'm
all
not
of a
done.
sudden.
It's
Yep.
the boat of the river of the lake of Cleveland's #1 afternoon show. Alan Cox.
Right. Bedbug free for almost
Bedbug
15 years, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Captain Fun's Floating Fandango regarding the Good Time 3, and we would love to have you along, and there are our last few pair of tickets to give away. It's all brought to you by Circle K, and I will have that pair for you next.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.
Or whatever smart device you have.
Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Presented by Capital One. And $1,000.
You'll be there for a weekend full of superstar performances. Big Sean,
Camila Cabello.
Doja Cat.
Dua Lipa. Gwen Stefani. Halsey.
Hosier, Keith Evan,
New Kids on the Block.
Paramore.
The Black Crows, Thomas Rhett,
Victoria Monet.
never before seen collaborations.
And once-in-a-lifetime moments you'll have to see to believe.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
September 20th and 21st.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now, starting at just $55 plus taxes and fees at AXS.com.
Keep listening. The next chance to win your way there and $1,000 spending cash is coming up.
The Hartford Small Business Insurance knows opening a small business is a great achievement. They offer custom insurance solutions to fit your needs. Get a quote and find why over 1 million small business owners trust them at thehartford.com/smallbusiness.
From the Universal Windows Direct Weather Center, WMMS Weather.
Sunny today with highs in the upper 70s. Tonight clear, 50s for lows, and Friday mostly sunny, highs around 80.
This report is sponsored by Classic Toyota in Menor. Visit driveclassictoyota.com. Shop Classic Toyota's tremendous in-stock inventory.
24/7. Open the app, search Slippery When Wet, and start listening. Free never sounded so good.
All right, you want to join us on Saturday afternoon? We've been talking about it for quite some time, and it all comes down to these last couple of days to win tickets for the Alan Cox Show cruise. Called what, Mary? Captain Fun's Floating Fandango is what it's called. And you can join us. It's all presented to you by Circle K. The three of us will all be there to hang out there on the lake. It's going to be 84 and sunny, son. Oh, Matitude's going to spin for you. We'll have prizes and drinks and food and NA beers and all of it. But I only have a handful of tickets remaining. So I will give this pair to you, and we'll see you there promptly for the cruise. Good luck. Caller 10-216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
One of life's most pressing questions.
What do I like about Alan Cox?
Finally answered.
All right, I don't like much about you.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Mm-hmm. 35192 to text me. AlanCoxShow.com. Want to watch live? You do it there. How are those Guardians doing? Oh, they haven't had one run yet.
Yeah, they're not doing great.
Okay. Well, if it keeps moving in this direction, then the Yankees will end up taking 2 of the 3 in that series there. 5-0 right now in the Bronx at the top of the 7th. Guardians will come back home, be among you in the friendly confines. They'll play the Texas Rangers tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Then they will continue to stay home. They will... little bug or something.
Yeah, I saw the little flying one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. That gets me nervous.
A fruit fly or something. I don't know.
Because they don't fly. So that's
well, again, I have no experience with bed bugs. They don't fly?
I don't
No.
think so.
All right.
They bite.
Well, I guess that's...
You can bite and fly.
You know, you have to look for the silver lining in your situation. And if that's our situation, then I guess the silver lining is that they can't take flight, that they are prisoners of gravity.
When'd you get that little foamy boy for your microphone?
I've had it. I've just been playing with whether or not I wanted to bring it back or not. I've used it a couple of times. It's old school. But I...
you don't like these windscreens?
Not so much.
With all the gunk in them?
Well, they're fine. It's just
Those creep me out. They got other people's food in there. They're like little specks. You know what I mean?
Specks. I mean,
it's
on
like
windscreens
dust and stuff, but yeah.
The only 2 people using this is me and Mark Nolan.
And he's disgusting.
No, listen, the windscreen is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I like my foamy windscreen. It just makes me, I need my little broadcasting security blankets. Because every once in a while, I'm going to explode here on the show. And I know people like that. They always tell me how happy aggravated Alan makes them. But I can't be that guy all the time. I am that guy all the time internally, but not externally. I can't be. Because we're trying to have fun here. And that just gets monotonous.
And it's not going to be as special if you do it all the time.
This will calm me down. Dream Eaters. Thank you, Mary, for reminding me.
You're welcome.
This is a good song.
Are they going to play this on the...
Hells, yes.
Oh. Okay. Do I get my one country song per cruise?
You can give Matitude your playlist.
Okay.
Only 90 minutes, so...
You guys were mad. It'll be like 3 minutes.
Yes, of course. You can give me a handful of songs.
Can we all come together and make up a dance for this on the boat?
Make up a dance?
The bleeding internally one?
Yeah. Just like for the chorus.
You mean like something choreographed at a wedding?
Like a TikTok dance that we can do.
Sure. And we'll tag them in it.
Get
They're right
everybody
there
on
in
the boat to
Brooklyn.
do it? Huh? Get everybody on the boat to do it? Bleeding.
They won't know it.
We'll teach them.
I'd rather do a dance to their song, Murder Me and F My Skull. Maybe we could do that one. Imagine that wafting over the waters
The
of
lake.
Lake Erie. Yeah.
And sound travels over water.
Yeah, we can do whatever you
figure
want,
something
right?
out, yeah.
Figure something out. Matitude will be there. He's a friend of the show.
What song are you going to request? What country song?
Don't know yet.
Oh, you don't have
Are you
one
gonna
in
go
mind.
for like a slow dance or something that's gonna get everybody bopping?
No, it would be like
You want a good boppy
drinking in
one,
the
yeah.
sun song. Yeah.
It's not going to be Butterfly Kisses, is what you're...
Oh, concrete angel.
It'd be the Ken Chesney one. The what's the?
Did you call him Ken Chesney? Are you guys on a nickname first name basis?
We're
Is
getting
it-
there. We're getting there.
Yeah, Ken Chesney and Billy Squire.
Just is very funny to call him Ken Chesney.
Yeah, Kenneth Chesney.
Kenneth Chesney's so formal.
That's what I'm saying.
I like
Ken Chesney.
What's the
shoes? No shoes?
No,
No, nothing?
that one's all right. But what's the other one? He's got the two songs that you mentioned the other day, Mary. I was listening.
He's got a song called Thank God for Kids.
You know what it is.
Oh, I'm afraid that I don't. I'm terrified
Are you
to
talking
find
about
out.
like his big? She thinks my
is-
tractor's sexy
No, I think I might have been thinking
when the sun goes down.
like the no shirt, no suit, no
No
problem.
shoes, no shirt, no problem is
Yeah,
a big one.
yeah.
It's a very, very big one.
Is that one kind of? Would that be a one that would get the boat going?
It feels
He's playing in the background right now.
That's what this one is.
This is why I was saying that
It was
Ken
weird that he was running
Chesney's
around.
cocaine
Yeah,
energy does
yeah.
not match his drinking
Yeah.
in the sun songs.
But he does really good cocaine too.
Yeah, but doesn't that give him a chance? I mean, you kind of there's ebbs and flows to a performance that long. You can't be at
Yeah.
10 the whole time. This gives him a
I mean,
chance.
he was 10, 80% of the time.
Really?
It was shocking.
Yeah. And every night, right? I mean, that's how he stays in good shape.
Well, and that's what I was saying. I was like, that's why he's so fit.
Yeah.
No problem. It's like, hey,
Yeah,
come on.
that's fine.
Just hang out. It's all good. Let's just hang out.
If that's the one you want,
I don't think that's going to be the one I want.
No, okay. Let
I don't know what I'll
Matitude
pick.
know.
You can do a Zach Brown cover.
I don't know yet. Let me think about it.
I'm trying to throw you some suggestions.
If Ken Chesney isn't good enough for you.
Ken.
Mm-hmm.
ZB Band.
ZBB.
Yeah, so figure it out, and we'll go from there. I'm sure that Matitude will be... Oh, he's going to have his own thing, because that's what he does. He knows how to sonically create a party. That's why
Are
we
you going to have a
him
request,
along.
Alan?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to have a request?
I mean, I'll play the Dream Eaters. I'll play Dance Across the Floor. I'll play a Muscle Bitch, probably. I'll
got your finger.
ask him to play this so we can dance along.
I've got your finger.
That's not my finger.
Tricky donkey. Honky tonky. From San Francisco to Milwaukee.
I feel weird. Oh, I feel funky.
You're fine, my little donkey.
I feel dizzy. I feel sick.
You're fine, my little donkey.
I'm a muscle bitch. I'm a muscle bitch.
Maybe that's too much.
That's
I mean,
a lot.
that's a good. It's a lot.
It is
but
a
it's
lot,
fun,
isn't
but
it?
it does get everybody jazzed up, especially because they know that from the show so well. I'm bummed out. Tonight's Doobie Brothers and Steve Winwood.
Oh, is
down
he
at-
opening for them?
He's opening for him down at Blossom, and I have
Yeah.
a show tonight, so I can't go. But I really should have just canceled the
Oh,
show and went.
I didn't know that Steve Winwood. We tried to see. Well, we saw a little bit of Steve Winwood when we
He was
went
here
to see
last year, right?
Steely Dan at Red Rocks.
Okay.
And there was a hailstorm, and Steve Winwood was opening, and he
That's
only...
a weird bill. Hailstorm, Steve Winwood, and Steely Dan.
But they made it work.
They did?
Yeah,
Okay,
Lizzie
yeah.
Hale came out and did Dirty Work and Arc of a Diver. Yeah, it was real good. Low Spark of High-Heeled Boys. Well, but the Doobies, though, they don't tour with Michael McDonald currently. So I don't know if this is a farewell tour.
On
But
the ad, they said they did have him.
I don't know about that. I think it's the guys.
We have an ad running on Magic.
Right, but I don't. But I'm sure there's Michael McDonald songs in the ad, but I don't think he's touring with them because they got into the Rock Hall the pandemic year. So remember when the Rock Hall inductions, everybody was on Zoom in 2020?
Yeah.
That was the year I think that Whitney Houston got in. It was Biggie, the Doobies, 9 Inch Nails, T-Rex, and Depeche Mode. They did it on HBO, and everybody was accepting the awards from their house because everybody was on Zoom. And Luke Bryan was there to induct somebody.
Doobie Brothers come back on tour in 2024 featuring Michael McDonald.
Really? Good for them.
All right. Go even more.
Well, but also, you know, there is that transition. Speaking of Steely Dan, that's where Michael McDonald first popped up. And then they were like, this guy's really, really good. And, of course, he blew up from there. But the Doobies grabbed him, and he was that bridge between kind of that southern rock that the Doobies were initially doing and then what we now know as modern-day yacht rock. When Michael McDonald got in the mix, they had massive hits with him, and they were glossy and much more mainstream. But, like, you know, a bunch of kids know this song because it's on TikTok all the time.
Yeah.
People doing yacht rock memes.
One of the funniest bits, it's so stupid, but there's this guy, he used to go by the Midnight Swinger, and he did this bit called the most dangerous bit in comedy, something like that. And what he would do is he would stuff mushrooms into his cheeks as he sang this song, and he'd sound more and more like Michael McDonald the more marshmallows he stuck in. Did I say mushrooms? I meant marshmallows. Marshmallows in his cheeks. And it was so stupid, but it was so funny. And then he spits all the marshmallows into a brown paper bag, signs it, and gives it to somebody in the audience.
Are there any? I've got it for you on YouTube. But are there any expletives in this?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's his name's the Midnight Swinger, but now he doesn't go by Midnight Swinger anymore. He goes by David something.
I think I've seen this.
Yeah.
He came from somewhere back in her long ago.
Stuffing marshmallows. It's a kind of a visual bit. But, yeah, okay.
But as he gets more and more,
incrementally putting more.
And it's just one of those things that, like, it was just so stupid to watch him do it live and watch people go crazy. But it was silly.
I like stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid plays very big with me. So, yeah, Doobies tonight. I didn't know that they were going to be there, and I didn't know that Steve Winwood was opening.
Yeah.
But I do not think that they have Michael McDonald. What's that?
From what I just read, they have Michael McDonald.
All right. Well, you might know.
But somebody that goes, report back.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess anybody that goes to that concert, not a texter. Go ahead and call us.
How do I text on my rotary phone? I don't know that that's a service that's available to me.
Alan, it's Dave from Menor. So I'm listening to a podcast from a day or two ago, and you guys were talking about the death penalty. I feel like however they kill somebody is how they should be killed. So if they stab somebody 30 times, they should get stabbed 30 times. And maybe that might make them at least think once before they do something crazy like that. All right, love the show. Bye.
How about that?
That's a Bible thing.
Yeah, well, it's very biblical. That wouldn't be the person, kind of an eye for an eye thing. That they wouldn't be the first person, obviously, to suggest that. But I always like when that thought comes back around. You are killed the way. Well, isn't that? I think it was more kind of poetic or whatever when people would discuss, like, you know, people that went to hell for killing somebody, or if they committed suicide, they were doomed to an eternity of doing what they did here on.
It just gets so expensive. Imagine if they had to build a new Twin Towers just to put Bin Laden in it and then fly a plane into it. Like, yeah, that's how you killed people.
You'd have to have a whole state fenced off to keep creating your...
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of death, I did want an animal death that has the world in mourning. Sven, the gay penguin, has died of, I don't know, old age.
Burn in hell, gay penguin.
It lived about as long as penguins in captivity are supposed to. Sven was the gay penguin at the Sydney Aquarium, where he lived with his partner named Magic. And they said that Magic walked out to grieve his partner. That he
Sven and Margaret, not Sven and Magic.
Yeah. That they took Magic out to see Sven's lifeless body, and Magic immediately began singing, and then the rest of the penguin colony began singing as well.
Oh, like Happy Feet.
They raised 2 chicks named Lara and Clancy. They have made numerous children's books about them. They've made cameos in television shows and movies and things. And so the Sydney Aquarium there is mourning the loss of... it doesn't gay penguin feel like a stretch. I mean, 2 male penguins that hung out, right? I mean...
They raised babies together and stuff.
Yeah, but you could have 2 straight guys raising kids, and sure, it seems unlikely, but you got...
Like 2.5 men.
You got boom mates now there in New York, yeah, or 3 men and a baby. Those guys were inveterate bachelors. Ted Danson, of course, the swordsman of the group. Gutenberg, arguably the most responsible. And then, of course, Tom Selleck. 3 freewheeling dudes who had a baby thrust upon them. So anyway, I don't know how many gay penguins are in the world. You know, I always like to read those stories about how the world's oldest person has died, and then that mantle goes to the next person. So Sven's partner is still alive, but they say that the average lifespan for a penguin in captivity is 11 years. And so Sven's light just went out. I don't know how old the partner is there. But I would think if you're one of the other male penguins still at the Sydney Aquarium, you might be sleeping with one eye open. Because Magic is...
on the hunt.
On the hunt. You know, I have to imagine that the animal world is similar. We are animals, after all, of a higher intelligence, of course, but I mean, animals in their own way are pretty smart. And you have to think that a gay penguin who is now single might approach the world much as a single human would. We're like, well, I'm going to mourn for a little while, but then I'm going to get back out there. I'm going to get on the horse.
Sven would want it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Sven would want.
What's the gay penguin dating app?
Flightless.
Well, that's just...
A little clunky,
Dive.
but I like what you're thinking. What? Dive.
Chill.
How about nice, but the ICE is in parentheses?
Oh. Nice.
How about it's just called Gay Penguin? How about that? You know, when my older kids...
Grindr for penguins.
Yeah, when my older kids were little, there was a thing called Club Penguin, which was this game that I think Disney might have owned it at one point, but it was one of the first kind of viral games I can remember for kids. It was called Club Penguin. And that would be a great name for a gay penguin dating app. Just take that IP. I don't know that Disney owns it anymore. I think they shut the thing down a while ago. Just move that over there. Club Penguin. But obviously these animals can't get on there themselves. They would need a human counterpart to fix them up. They can't swipe with their fins.
Gay penguin matchmaker. Now it feels like we're pulling things out of a bucket.
Who's this we, white man?
Me.
Oh. I've got to take a break. Hey, you want to go to the Cleveland National Air Show? It's in Cleveland, also national, over Labor Day weekend, which is not as far off as you might have thought. But I will have a couple of tickets for you coming back here. It's presented to you by Discount Drug Mart. They got some new performances this year over at Burke Lakefront Airport. So we'll hand that off coming back. Later on, closer to 5:30, I will have another $1,000 and a shot for you to get to Vegas along with a friend for our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. We got stuff. You want stuff. Win stuff. This week at WMMS.com.
Register to win a pair of tickets to see Green Day with the Smashing Pumpkins and Rancid. Sunday, September 1st at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Get more info and register to win at WMMS.com.
Your afternoon drive is brought
Brought to you by the Ken Ganley Auto Group, Ohio's #1 automotive retailer.
Hey, it's Bill. Right now at Wendy's, kickstart your morning with the new breakfast burrito. Wendy's breakfast burrito is hearty and delicious with 6 strips of bacon, seasoned potatoes, 2 fresh cracked eggs, and 2 slices of cheese, all wrapped in a warm flour tortilla. If you're extra hungry, enjoy Wendy's new breakfast burrito in a breakfast combo, which includes a small seasoned potatoes and choice of beverage. I suggest this Simply Orange juice. It's good. So break your boring breakfast routine at Wendy's and try its new breakfast burrito at participating Wendy's during breakfast hours only. Use the app to order to earn points to get free Wendy's. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Kia of Streetsboro. 99 cents get you driving. Kia of Streetsboro. 99 cents down. Kia of Streetsboro. Stop in and see how much you'll save. Kia of Streetsboro. Kia of Streetsboro.com.
Wouldn't life be better with no waiting? No waiting rooms, no waiting lists, no more waiting with bated breath. And at Kia of Streetsboro, you don't have to wait for year-end pricing. Kia of Streetsboro is giving you the best deals of the year right now on any new Kia in stock. No waiting to the end of the year to get blowout prices. And you can get that price even lower when you trade in your current ride. The best things come to those who wait, not at Kia of Streetsboro. So don't wait. Seize the road at Kia of Streetsboro or KiaofStreetsboro.com, where the thrill begins.
Kia of Streetsboro.
Stop in and see how much you'll save.
Kia of Streetsboro.
KiaofStreetsboro.com. See dealer for details.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating.
Keep celebrating when you bundle and save with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Find out what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Get 0.9% APR for up to 48 months in the purchase of select new 2024 Sportage and 2024 Sorento models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details. Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Financing for 24 to 48 months from Kia Finance KF. Subject to credit approval by KF to well-qualified buyers for purchase of a new 2024 Sportage or 2024 Sorento. Excludes hybrid PHEV. $21.22 per month per 1,000 financed at 48 months. No down payment required. Subject to vehicle availability and dealer participation. Must take delivery by 9/3/24. Limited inventory available. See Kia retailer for available stock.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
You love your hardwood and tile floors, but how do you keep them clean? Elbow grease? The right answer is Coit. Coit certified specialists use advanced cleaning methods to refresh and restore your hardwood floors, tile, and grout to look like new. All for the right price and backed by the best guarantee in the business. Call 800-4COIT or go to Coit.com today and get 30% off. Minimum charge applies. Discount doesn't apply to service charge, restoration, or commercial services. Restrictions apply. Call 800-4COIT for details.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know whether it's a new home or a new car. You've worked hard to achieve your dreams, and we work hard to protect them so you can enjoy the utmost peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The temps are high, so VW of Streetsboro is going low. They're extending their unprecedented, unparalleled, unmatched, unrivaled, unfreaking real sale. VW of Streetsboro is back with more low.
Buzzard.
The home of the Buzzard.
Buzzard. This is 100.7 WMMS. Cleveland.
All right, want to grab a couple tickets for Labor Day weekend, the Cleveland National Air Show, presented by Discount Drug Mart. It's all Labor Day weekend at Burke Lakefront Airport. Handful of new things this year, including performances from the Northern Stars Aero Team and Franklin's Flying Circus. ClevelandAirShow.com. You can have all the info for you, tickets, blah, blah, blah. This pair for you, caller 10, good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Another ringing endorsement.
You're an idiot, your show sucks, and you've proven that many times.
For the Alan Cox Show.
You're so stupid.
On 100.7 WMMS.
I get a constant busy signal when I call you on the phone. I get a strong, uneasy feeling you're not sitting there alone. I'm having nasty
The great Robert Cray. This was his big hit. It's called Smoking Gun. He had, it was a perfectly crafted song, perfectly crafted mainstream rock blues album and song from Robert Cray. Album is called Strong Persuader. Somebody texted me in the break, said that Robert Cray was also on that Doobies show, but I don't think that that's true because he's doing Kane Park this weekend. That's on the east side, yeah, Kane Park.
Yeah.
We
He
saw
might
a
still be doing both.
Yeah,
He'll
maybe.
Just open up a show and then go do the other one. I mean, there's plenty of people that wouldn't want to go all the way to Blossom to see him. And
But you're going to be in town for 4 days? Like he's in Anderson, Indiana.
Hey.
Saturday. Yeah,
you gotta
maybe.
do?
He's in Columbus tomorrow night. Maybe so. Maybe he is out at Blossom tonight. Love Robert Cray. I like Steve Earle for that matter. Copperhead Road, that's a great album. One of Mary's favorites.
My favorite.
So Sunday night, Robert Cray and Steve Earle out at Kane Park. We haven't seen a show at Kane Park in, Jesus, we'd been in town like 18 months when we went to Kane Park. I don't think we've been back since. I like the venue, though. People up there on the little hill with their picnic blankets out and their picnic blankets out and their little glasses of wine and the whole thing. So maybe Robert Cray on the Doobies show tonight, but I don't know. That would be another reason to go, I guess. As Bill contemplates canceling his own show to attend.
Yeah, I can't.
That's the what? I
Alan Cox
already
Show.
started the
Exclusive news update.
I already played the exclusive news update thing.
Well, the exclusive news update is that I'm not canceling my show in Columbus tonight.
Alan Cox Show. Exclusive news update.
This just in, Bill Squire not canceling his show. The show's in Columbus tonight.
Yeah, that's why I leave a segment early.
Oh, right. The last segment of the show today is going to be the Captain Fun and Stepmom Mare show. Unless you have to leave a segment early, too.
We all got to go.
Oh, we do.
Everybody's leaving at 4.
All right, well, then
That's what
the
I was
show
told.
ends at 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
What, is that
Bed
soon?
Bugs
Yes.
get more active at 4:10.
Oh,
so
no.
you gotta get out
I
of
heard
here.
that.
Yep. Well, that
4:03,
winter's
they
going to be
wake up.
terrible then when the sun goes down at noon.
It's not about the sun. They know what time it is.
Oh, they
Because of
do?
the universe.
Oh, they have their own circadian rhythms?
Uh-huh.
I got a couple of good suggestions in the break for the Gay Penguin app.
Oh,
OnlyFins.
Okay.
Plenty of fish. I mean, it already exists, but it was right there, and I didn't grab it. Somebody else suggested Tuxedo.
That's funny.
Man, it's pretty good. Now, again, the problem that still needs to be resolved is that penguins, I mentioned before the break,
Can't
that
have cell phones.
one of the two gay penguins at the Sydney Aquarium, yes, they are disallowed from having cell phones. That's why when you go to an aquarium, they have you put your cell phone in the yonder bags because they go, listen, nobody ever takes pictures at an aquarium. So this isn't going to be any big inconvenience for you. Put it in the lockers. I mean, really. When was the last time you saw somebody at an aquarium taking a picture?
I do it.
Ever.
People do it constantly.
Mm-hmm. What? They do?
Uh-huh.
That's got to be. Alan, what would Alex Jones think? First the frogs turned gay, and now the penguins. I wonder if that was simultaneous or if it was one led to the other.
Penguins gay.
Do you understand that?
Penguins gay.
Crap. Gay. Frogs friggin' frogs. It's not funny.
Is Alex Jones in Chicago? I don't know if this guy has popped up at all, if he's out there.
Oh, for the dink.
Screaming into his bullhorn, or yeah. He seems to have kept an uncharacteristically low profile throughout the whole thing. Guy taking deadbeat dad quite literally. Story somebody passed to me about a guy who faked his own death to get out of paying child support. He hacked into the records systems of multiple states. A guy in Kentucky went to great lengths to avoid paying his child support. Now, as someone who for many, many years paid an inordinate amount of money in child support, but I was happy to do it. I was committed to my children wanting for nothing. And so, but there are a lot of people who are not as fortunate in their financial situation. And then there are just deadbeat dudes, right? There's a lot of guys doing their level best to get everybody paid. This guy wanted nothing to do with it. This guy was already, I believe the legal term is in arrears. This guy was about $195,000 in the hole. Now, again, I don't know how you get that far behind.
You never pay.
Well, you never
just
pay.
Never pay.
He tried to, he faked his own death. He hacked into state registries and falsified official records to make it look as if he were dead.
All right. I respect this.
Now, this wasn't some decades-long scheme, by the way. This guy started...
Did he get caught at a concert, too?
No, like the girl at Macklemore? Yeah. No, he started...
That's that guy on stage at Macklemore.
He started this in January of last year. He accessed Hawaii's death registry. This is a guy from Kentucky. He accessed Hawaii's death registry by using the username and password of a doctor living in another state. And then he created a case that was his death, completed a worksheet for the death certificate saying that he was dead. So he registered himself as a deceased person in several government databases. And then he would hack into multiple states, and he would use credentials from real people. And he said that once he was caught, he did this to avoid his outstanding child support obligations. And they were outstanding. $195,000. He got arrested. So not only does he get a charge of like theft, computer fraud, all this other stuff, he still owes the money. He divorced in 2008. And he a year before that, he had been deployed to Iraq. So you know how that lays out, right? These guys go overseas for a while, come back. The wife either has been screwing around, wants nothing to do with him. It's a long time. Sad. So he's got to pay money, child support, damage to multiple states' computer systems. Now, they're never going to get this money out of that guy.
So they put him in jail.
Put him in jail. But it's like when people get caught, you know, anybody who's like, oh, they found this school secretary had been embezzling $30,000 a year for the they're never going to get that money back. The reason these people are embezzling money is because they don't have it. This guy just had some computer skills. And he put them to nefarious use. So if you had the skills to do this, how would you're not going to fake your own death. What would you do? You know, like when Ferris Bueller went in and changed his grades?
Yeah.
And all Ed Rooney could do was sit there, impotent, and watch it happen.
Doesn't change his grades. He changes how many days he missed.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah.
I thought he gave himself an A or something.
No,
and then
he just moved because he had been absent nine times.
9.
Okay. And he went down to 0? Is that what he did?
I think he took it down to 2.
Boop, beep, bop.
Yeah, 1 or
Okay.
2.
All right.
Because obviously he's missed some school.
Sure.
God.
Yeah.
9 times. Man, whatever the maximum was is always what I'd go for. However many days you could miss, I'd miss.
The maximum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you can miss in a semester, you can miss 8 days or 9 days or whatever. I'm like, okay.
That's what I'm doing.
That's PTO, baby.
Yep. Except it's not P.
Use it or lose it.
But you're not paid in school.
It's
You're just taking the day
time
off.
off.
Now you're just behind.
Oh, party time off.
Pardoned.
Oh, pardoned time
Yeah, you're
off.
allowed to
That's
get-
the PTO.
Yeah, that's the PTO.
All right.
You use it or lose it.
A couple of people suggesting that maybe here at iHeart Cleveland we get ourselves a bed bug eating penguin.
Ooh, there you go.
I don't know what penguins eat other than fish. But
Apparently bed bugs.
Robert Cray opened the first half of the Doobies tour, Winwood the second. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
There you go. Anyway, all I'm saying is,
We want the Michael McDonald confirmation, though.
well, people are telling me that he's there.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I mean, that is a clear demarcation line, though, in the sound of that band.
For sure.
There were people who, when he joined, they were like, no, thank you. And other people that were like, oh, I never really dug these guys before. A little too granola for me. And then Michael McDonald comes along, and it was the 80s, so there's keyboards, and, that's what broke up Van Halen in its original iteration. David Lee, yes, it was the 80s.
Who liked which version of Doobie Brothers they liked?
Yes. David Lee Roth was team Michael McDonald, and everybody else were like team other guy. No, Eddie Van Halen wanted to branch the sound of the band out. He wanted to incorporate keyboards into the sound of the band. And David Lee Roth wanted them to be a sweaty rock and roll band. He didn't like it. But it was the 80s. As it turned out, Eddie was right. But, well, it wasn't even right or wrong. David Lee Roth he was writing the lyrics. The other guys were writing the music. He wanted it to remain as it was. But that 1984 album
A lot of keyboards.
was massive for
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of have to surf what's happening in music, and if you do it right, because a lot of bands do it wrong. There were a lot of bands that were incorporating, keyboards and synthesizers into their music, and it just did not gel. Handful of those bands that had already had a decade or so under their belts, they made it work. Van Halen made it work. ZZ Top.
Steve Winwood made it work.
Yep. ZZ Top had an unbelievable second act because of synthesizers and MTV. Steve Winwood, yeah. Back in the high life.
Yeah.
Shaka Khan singing with him, right? Higher Love.
Higher Love,
That's
yeah.
Shaka Khan in there. So, Steve Winwood is a guy I'm surprised I'm kind of surprised still goes out and tours. He must really like doing it. He certainly doesn't need to do it.
He's got to have so much. Let's get that accurate net worth from Google.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Winwood. $60 million.
$60 million. All right. Well, Traffic sold a lot of albums, right?
Traffic did.
And the Spencer Davis Band.
Yeah.
And he was 16.
When he was 16 years old.
Yeah.
He was only 11.
Yep. And he had a great voice.
Oh,
you
great.
listen to it and you go, that can't be a
16-year-old
16-year-old kid.
Yeah. It's crazy.
$1967. Spencer Davis Group. Young man named Stevie Winwood. Behind the mic there. Give me some love in the song. Brand new on the buzzer. Now, were the other guys in the band just a little bit older, or was he singing with like a bunch of
40s?
Is that true?
I don't know.
That's what I always picture.
I do too.
Is a bunch of guys in their mid 40s who just have had nothing good happen, and they find this 16-year-old kid, and it's Steve Winwood, and because Spencer Davis. Okay, so these guys were probably just a little bit older because Spencer Davis died 4 years ago, and he was 81.
How old is Winwood? 75?
Yeah, probably like that, yeah. I mean, he was a teenager when he did those songs. He did I'm a Man, and he did Give Me Some Lovin'.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, Spencer Davis wasn't singing those songs. You know who else was in the band? Was Steve Winwood's brother, Muff Winwood.
Muff Winwood.
Muff Winwood. That's his brother.
What was it?
Played the bass.
Muff, short for something?
No, well, it was his
Muffin?
nickname. His name was Mervin.
Okay.
I'd go by Muff, too. Mervin Winwood.
That's a name that needs a comeback.
Yeah.
Mervin the Wizard. That's not a very good wizard. I wanted a Merlin. I got a Mervin.
You got Mervin. You got Muff.
He and Steve's first band was called the Muff Woody Jazz Band, so that's better. Well, anyway, 16-year-old Stevie Winwood. He'll probably pull out a couple of those old tracks, right? Pull out maybe Low Spark of High Heeled Boys. Maybe While You See a Chance, Take It. I know that's solo him, but that's early. Solo Stevie Winwood. We talked about yesterday, Mary, I think it was when you were out for a minute.
Yeah.
And I stumbled into what has become, in very short period of time, a worldwide phenomenon. My
Your
new prank
show?
alter ego. Yeah. AC Prank Pony. Pardon me.
Sorry, I was bucking at something else.
Pardon
not really.
me.
No.
How dare you? How dare you discount AC Prank Pony?
I can't help it. When you say it, I just can't.
You have a Pavlovian response to it?
Try it again. I'll try and hold it back.
How dare you?
AC Prank Pony.
I can't.
How dare you?
I tried.
All right, fine.
All right.
Well, anyway, the story broke today that a high school principal in California has been put on leave because there's a video of him at a school function, like at a pep rally, right? And this is at Bucock.
No.
B-U-H-A-C-H.
Bucock Elementary School.
Buhock Colony High School. This is in Atwater, California. He's been put on administrative leave because they had a rally last week. This must have been a back-to-school rally, right? Jesus. It's like, this guy at the beginning of the year gets put on leave. He was dancing with the school's mascot, Thor, and he was in an office chair, and the mascot was essentially giving him a lap dance to Pony by Genuine. And the mascot then sits down in the chair, and the principal slides his hands down the mascot's chest. And then he says to the student body, what happens at Buhock stays at Buhock. And, of course, the kids go crazy.
Yeah.
They're having fun.
He's connecting with his student body through one of the students' body. Because that's probably a student in there, right?
I imagine so.
Yeah.
So anyway, they put him on administrative leave. You can find that video online of them doing, here, I'll show it to you if you're watching. They're doing the thing here. And well, it's visual, but somebody posted, their caption was, am I a square that's getting old, or was this weird as shrimp that this guy was dancing there with the mascot? He's just trying to be down with the kids. And what better way to do that than to dance to a 35-year-old song? Is Pony 35 years old? It's not, okay.
No, it came out in
25?
Early 2000s would be my guess.
96.
96.
Oh, wow, dang.
So 25 years, and what's the math on that?
30 years.
It's almost 30 years, yeah.
It's 2 years. It's 28 years old.
I wonder if Genuine, I'm sure, I mean, the story went viral. I wonder if Genuine feels any responsibility for this.
He can't. Listen, this song has made people do so many horny things over the years. He has to divest himself of what this song does to people.
Yeah.
It makes
It's
people
not.
act
It's not on him anymore.
crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right.
As our friend Brian Kenny says, that song is incendiary.
It is incendiary, isn't it?
Pony on the 6th floor, pony in the bathroom, pony in the kitchen, pony on the school bus, pony, pony, pony. He's a funny-loving pony, never going slowly. When you got a pony, you never feel lonely. Pony, pony,
Now, if only he had danced to the theme song for the Nickelodeon show, It's Pony. Maybe he would have been in better shape. But they're probably just, putting him on leave so they can go over that video with a fine-toothed comb and then bring him back. Because that's a smart way to do it. Because the student body is like, this sucks. You bring him back and he's a conquering hero. They're at Bukkake High School in Atwater, California.
So at the one point, he's got the confetti gun thing.
Yep.
And he sprays it like, that was
it is pretty wild. Yes.
It's a little nuts, but I don't think he should be fired for it. Like, give him,
Listen, if he's a good educator and he's, listen, some people might consider it a lapse in judgment, and these days, seemingly that's all it takes to ruin your life. But listen, if he's well-liked, that goes a long way in public school. I got to take a break. Want to go to Green Day? You got to go to Pittsburgh, but don't let that dissuade you. It's a fine, toddling town. Green Day's Saviors Tour is going to do PNC Park in a little over a week, September 1. It's going to be Green Day along with the Smashing Pumpkins and Timmy Armstrong and Rancid and the Linda Lindas. It's a great lineup. It's just not coming here. So we'll send you to Pittsburgh. So I'll have those tickets for you after the break. Over an hour, 5:30. Be listening for that next keyword. It's $1,000. Last one today. And your trip to Vegas in a few weeks for our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
The Alan Cox Show. On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device. Just tell it to play The Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Presented by Capital One. And $1,000.
You'll be there for a weekend full of superstar performances.
Big Sean.
Camila Cabello.
Doja Cat.
Dua Lipa. Gwen Stefani.
Halsey. Hosier. Keith Urban.
New Kids on the Block.
Paramore.
Shaboozey. The Black Crows.
Thomas Rhett.
Victoria Monet.
Never before seen collaborations.
And once-in-a-lifetime moments you'll have to see to believe.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
September 20th and 21st. T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now, starting at just $55 plus taxes and fees at AXS.com.
Keep listening. The next chance to win your way there and $1,000 spending cash is coming up.
The human soul requires a minimum daily requirement of entertainment. Welcome to MGM Rewards. With the greatest live shows on earth, they have all the entertainment you can handle and more. Book now and make the most of your Vegas getaway at MGMRewards.com.
Weather Center.
WMMS weather.
Sunny today with highs in the upper 70s. Tonight clear, 50s for lows, and Friday mostly sunny, highs around 80.
This report is sponsored by Levin Furniture and Mattress.
The biggest Labor Day event is underway at Levin. Save up to 50% off Hot Buys, then take an extra 25% off store-wide. Plus get 5-year special financing and free gifts. The Labor Day sale, now at Levin.
Your afternoon drive is brought to you by the Ken Ganley Auto Group, Ohio's #1 automotive retailer.
Tired of overpaying for wireless with Verizon? Now you can put T-Mobile to the test for free. T-Mobile's Network Pass lets you test drive America's largest 5G network for 3 months while you keep your current phone and carrier. Get real-time stats and see how T-Mobile's coverage stacks up against Verizon. Plus, families and small businesses can save up to 20% versus Verizon when they switch. At T-Mobile, you don't have to choose between a great network and a great price. You get both. See for yourself with our no-strings-attached 3-month free trial. Download the T-Mobile app to get started today or visit our store to learn more.
One trial per user. Compatible unlocked 5G device required. Plan savings with T-Mobile third line free on Essentials or Go 5G Plus via monthly bill credits versus comparable available plans. Plan features and taxes and fees may vary. Credits stop if you cancel any lines or change plans. See details at T-Mobile.com.
What if you could use your money to make money? At Solo Funds, they've created a community where you can support others financially and improve your finances in return. Fund someone to help change a tire and earn yourself a little extra income by lending a helping hand. Together, let's change the way personal finance works while you make money from the money you already have with Solo Funds. Join them at solofunds.com. That's solofunds.com.
Jeff Kinsbach here with the best. Rich Claiborne of the Claiborne Auto Stores. Rich, the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is happening.
It's your invitation to the most attractive offers of the year on every new Ford. Over 500 available.
And you have a great example.
This month, choose a 2024 F-150 Super Crew, $3,000 off MSRP, and lease for only $675 a month. 36 months, only $675 due at signing. 25 cents per mile in excess of $36,000.
Simple and straightforward. Experience the difference at Claiborne.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
The temps are high, so VW of Streetsboro is going low. They're extending their unprecedented, unparalleled, unmatched, unrivaled, unfreaking real sale. VW of Streetsboro is back with more low pricing. How about these lease deals? Get a 2024 Volkswagen Taos S for only $169 per month, a 2024 Volkswagen Tiguan S for only $199 per month, or a 2024 Volkswagen Atlas SE 4Motion for $339 per month. Plus, bring in your trade and get up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book toward any new Volkswagen in stock. And VW of Streetsboro is offering financing as low as 0.9%. Hurry, because these low price vehicles are going fast. So get to VW of Streetsboro today. VWofStreetsboro.com. Residency restrictions may apply. 36-month lease, 7,500 miles per year. Well-qualified buyers, taxes, title, and license fees additional. Call dealer at 330-342-7000 for additional details. Taos S selling price $26,011. Tiguan S selling price $33,254. Atlas SE 4Motion selling price $44,599.
Welcome to the Unlit Life. It's this place where you feel free, like enjoying a low-key get-together with friends instead of a wild night on the town style of free. When you can enjoy a moment with Blue Vapor just because. You know, the everyday doesn't have to feel so everyday. With Blue e-cigs, you can get stuff done and still have fun. And when we let ourselves get unlit, we start really living. Blue, get unlit. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Blue is a trademark of Fonum Holdings 4BV. Copyright 2022. Fonum US LLC.
Kia of Streetsboro, 99 cents get you driving. Kia of Streetsboro, 99 cents down. Kia of Streetsboro, stop in and see how much you'll save. Kia of Streetsboro, Kia of Streetsboro.com.
Wouldn't life be better with no waiting? No waiting rooms, no waiting lists, no more waiting with bated breath. And at Kia of Streetsboro, you don't have to wait for year-end pricing. Kia of Streetsboro is giving you the best deals of the year right now on any new Kia in stock. No waiting to the end of the year to get blowout prices. And you can get that price even lower when you trade in your current ride. The best things come to those who wait, not at Kia of Streetsboro. So don't wait. Seize the road at Kia of Streetsboro or KiaofStreetsboro.com, where the thrill begins.
Kia of Streetsboro, stop in and see how much you'll save. Kia of Streetsboro, KiaofStreetsboro.com.
See dealer for details.
This summer's hottest lineup is at Dunkin'. Headlining is the Dunkin' Iced Coffee. Dunkin' Refreshers are ready to deliver refreshing flavors, and Spark Energy is debuting in a fizzy spectacle of vitamins, minerals, and caffeine. Drop by or order one ahead on the Dunkin' app. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply. Order ahead on the Dunkin' app.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Right now at the Ram, make this the summer event. Well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for $549 a month for 42 months, with $3,640 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra, no security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by September 3rd, 2024.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a serious heart condition. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. My HCM impacted how I felt and what I could do. So I asked my cardiologist about treatment advances that gave me new options. That conversation was big for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Hey everyone, it's time to say goodbye to summer and drive into fall in a new Ken Ganley Kia. Over 800 new Kias in stock and on sale. 24 Kia Telluride, $299 lease per month. Seltos, $139 lease per month. Forte,
the entire reason I didn't buy tickets for the boat is because I knew you guys would acquiesce to Mary's awful country music.
10K miles per year, no security deposit required.
The entire reason I didn't buy tickets.
Crank it up all summer. Hairband Rock 24/7. Open the app, search Slippery When Wet, and start listening. Free never sounded so good.
Time to give stuff away.
All right, I want to go see Green Day. They're on the Saviors Tour. That's the latest album, but it's also the 30th anniversary of Dookie and the 20th anniversary of American Idiot. Plenty of surprises in store. Not least of which, they're taking the Smashing Pumpkins out with them. Rancid and the Linda Lindas were very entertaining in their own right. So all of them not coming here. You'll go to PNC Park in Pittsburgh, a little over a week away. Labor Day weekend, to be precise, Sunday, September 1st. You'll have Monday off, fingers crossed. Tickets for caller 10, Ticketmaster.com for everything else. 2 for Green Day in the Steel City. Good luck. 216-578-1007. Or 800-348-1007.
The Alan Cox Show.
Sure, you could listen to another show, but then how would you find the puppies we've buried in boxes around the city? 100.7 WMMS.
Amy Poehler discovered the Linda Lindas. She did some indie film and knew somebody who like, hey, you guys want to be on this soundtrack? Just an LA band, 4 girls, young girls. Every generation needs its all-female rock band with a girl's name in it. Every generation needs that. There were the Runaways back. 20 years ago, I was making out with a guitar player from the Donnas at our station festival. But those girls are all in their mid-40s now.
Was that because you thought it was the Dons? Because you're gay.
Shut up, Bill.
What was the thing that you did that made someone go, hey, you're gay, Alan?
Oh, yeah. I forget what it was.
Washed your butt or something?
Yeah, they thought I was gay because every time we go back to the muscle car people get mad.
Yeah, it's funny that they get so mad.
So anyway, Linda Lindas are on that Green Day tour. That's exciting for them. You go from playing to some medium-sized venues, and then somebody comes and taps you on the shoulder and said, hey, would you like to play sports stadiums? And they go, yes, we would. Very much so. So I'll have a last pair of tickets for you for that tomorrow, and then tomorrow afternoon, the last pair of tickets to join us on Saturday afternoon. Mary will be in here tomorrow.
Yes, I will.
She will oversee the whole operation from across the board here. Tomorrow, the last pair of tickets going out for Captain Fun's Floating Fandango. Not everybody's going to be along, of course.
The entire reason I didn't buy tickets for the boat is because I knew you guys would acquiesce to Mary's awful country music request. Have fun, guys. Won't be there. Later.
Oh, no!
Because I can't have one
Mary,
song.
how are we going to get along?
I'm not even going to notice it.
Without that guy there. What?
I don't know, Alan. Ask yourself.
The whole reason I didn't buy tickets is because I knew you guys would do this. How? Well, now I can't have any. What are the other 500 people on the boat going to do without that guy there?
We're all just going to talk about, man, we wish he was here. This would be so much better. Thanks a lot, Mary.
Why couldn't that guy be here? Oh, no. Well, good job, Mary.
I know.
Ugh. You know how much that guy wanted to be there, too.
That's all he's been talking about.
Alan, look up the clip of Michael McDonald during allergy season from Family Guy. Does anybody remember that? That's a deep cut. We were talking about the doobies.
We now return to Michael McDonald during allergy season.
Get it?
Yeah, we get it.
I love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. By the way, devotion to accuracy and kind of coming full circle, I got a lot of texts from people mentioning that War Games was the music. Well, there was music in it.
There was.
War Games was the movie in which Matthew Broderick changes the grades. He changed Ali Sheedy's grades in War Games. Changed his, what was it, productive time off? What was it, PTO in high school? What did you call it?
Pardoned.
Pardoned time off in high school.
Approved
He changes,
absences.
there you go. His approved absences in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but changes the grades in War Games. Alan, they just showed an Olympic swimmer with no legs below the knees, and I can barely swim because I used to have ear infections. It makes me feel lazy. Well, it's like that wrestler who's just a torso, right?
Yeah.
I was a wrestler in high school and part of college, and I had what was considered all of my appendages. Yeah, I had what were considered legs. Now, you'd never notice it because, of course, freshman year, my first year in high school of wrestling, I was terrible. Once word got around that whoever they had, because freshman year, I was wrestling in the 98-pound weight class. I was just a little slip of a lass. They've changed the weight classes since then. But when I was wrestling, 98, and then 112, and then 135, and then 155, and then heavyweights. I never broke 135. There were a lot of, the first handful of wrestling matches that I won is simply because the other school didn't have anybody as small as me.
Oh.
But then you got to be small, but then you got to be a scrapper, right? I had to learn how to be a scrapper because there was another kid on the team who was about my size, and this kid was a beast. Nick Parnello. I remember it like it was yesterday. But I was getting pinned a lot. When you're in high school and you're not especially skilled as a wrestler and you're kind of learning the moves, when your head is on that mat, did you ever wrestle in high school or anything like that?
I did one practice and I was like, I don't like this one bit. I'm out of here.
That thing where the ref smacks his bare hand down on that mat near your head, it echoes. There is nothing that will get you more motivated than that. I was like, man, if I never hear that again, it'll be too soon. And I heard it a lot. That smack of the hand on the mat when you're on your back staring at those lights and there's nothing you can do because that other kid has gotten the better of you. And I had both arms and both legs. I was still learning the moves. So this kid who's just a torso, I mean, he's got arms, but he's got no legs like at the hip. I was the skinny wiener king in high school. That's right. No, nobody was calling me anything like that. But boy, that sound. See, Mary was a cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
Was that high school and college?
Yes.
Did you guys, were you mat maidens ever?
No.
You didn't have to do wrestling
I cheered for
matches.
football and basketball.
See, there were some schools, and I was so envious because my school didn't have cheerleaders at wrestling matches either. Because it's just not, wrestling's not sexy, right? You're not drawing huge crowds. I fully get it. It's basketball, it's football, whatever. My high school was huge on soccer, so it was a whole thing. But we didn't have mat maidens. But I had friends that were like way out in the sticks. They were at more like, past the suburbs, like rural schools. And we would go out there to, they were always like the corn-fed boys who would look at you and, break you in half. But they always had cheerleaders at the wrestling matches. And I had to wonder, there was a part of me, I was very ambivalent because on the one hand, I was like, thank God there aren't women here watching me get my ass kicked. But on the other hand, I was like, that would be pretty good motivation. So, and it was. I started winning matches when we would go out to those corn-pone schools and they had their cheerleaders. I didn't know those girls, but I didn't want to end up flat on my back around them.
You didn't want to show off for the moms at your school?
No, the moms, no.
Whoever was coming to watch?
Not many
the
people.
Aunts?
Not many
the
people.
aunties?
Again, we didn't draw a crowd. No. Zion Clark. Oh, is that true? He's from Massillon? The wrestler with no legs?
Yeah.
Oh, is that a local thing? Why did I think that was like a national? Zion Clark, okay.
I mean, it's like a national thing because it's such an inspiring story, but he is a local guy.
Oh, he went to Kent State. Okay. I must have been misremembering that. I didn't realize or had forgotten that was a local thing. Yeah. I mean, he's got like nothing below the waist. A rare disorder called caudal regression syndrome. God, I mean, every day is chest and arm day. That's the beauty of it. You're cutting out half the work in the weight room. He's 110 pounds. And that's heavy. When you're just waist up?
Yeah, when it's just your
just torso and arms? Yeah. Oof. Yeah, you're in the weight room all the time. Good for him. So, yeah. I don't know how we got on that. I have no idea how we got on that whole thing. But that smack of the hand near the head, it's deafening. And once I started winning some matches, and I went up a couple of weight classes, never broke 135. But, and then it was time for me to get out of the biz because I had to get out. Start working some jobs, making some money. Salary transparency. This is a thing that you see a lot of current generational people talking about. There's this big push for salary transparency, people go, why is it so verboten that people talk about the money they make? This is what further divides people. Now, obviously I'm a Gen Xer. I don't necessarily see the value in this, but you do you. They said that most people have lied to their coworkers about how much money they make. Either telling them that they make less than they do or telling them that they make more than they do. The majority of people in this country that they talked to said that. The majority of people they talked to said that employees' salaries should be transparent in the workplace.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So explain this to me. I understand the thought behind it, but you're in favor of that. Why?
So that you can kind of know where everybody's sitting.
Yeah, so you know the market value so that everybody
Yeah.
can get fair pay.
Yeah, but that still differs based on the individual and the job they're doing.
Sure.
If everybody's doing the same job, I understand that, or am more prone to understanding it.
Yeah, but I also think it's good to at least have a baseline. Like, hey, here's kind of what you can ballpark make in position A, B, C, and D.
But they already tell you that.
But they don't.
Well, they do. When there's a
No,
job
they tell
opening.
you a starting position. They tell you this job starts at $19 an hour.
Right, but here's what I'm saying. We have access to more information and data than we've ever had before. You can find out what a job pays.
Or your
on
job can
average.
just tell you.
Yeah, but the job tells you. This is people talking to each other. Like if somebody were to come up to me and say, hey, how much money do you make? I would not tell them because I don't think, and again, this does fall in line with the older you get, the less likely people are to even talk about this kind of stuff because it's considered gauche or whatever. So I fully understand because the younger workers get, and the more we creep toward the cliff of late-stage capitalism, I fully understand people are like, everybody's getting screwed. I'd like to know where I am. I understand that. But as transparent as people say it should be, they still say most people lie about it. So it's like people talking to their coworkers are not telling the truth.
Well, it's because we've been told not to tell anybody. Hey, this is a secret between you and me. And
No,
it's
but
either
you've-
because they're
but
paying
you've
you
never been
more,
told
they're
that.
paying you less.
But you've never been, I've never been told, don't tell people
as
how
like a
much.
society, they tell you 3 things you're not supposed to talk about.
A
are
cultural
money,
thing, you mean?
Yeah, money, politics, and sex. Like those are the 3.
Religion.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, for
Whatever,
Mary,
it's
for
in
Mary
there.
it's sex.
Sex.
It
Don't
was
talk
sex,
about
yeah.
sex.
Baby, don't talk about
Or money, yeah, money, politics, and religion, whatever. But those are things you're not supposed to discuss because it's not polite. But I don't understand how telling someone how much money you make is impolite.
Because it's going to piss somebody off. Either
but it
you
also
or
might help somebody.
is that the chance people are willing to take?
I mean, Mary and
Yes.
I kind of do this just to make sure we're not getting screwed for like gigs.
I do this with all comics.
With all
If any
comics, yeah.
comic ever asks me how much I'm making for a gig or for a weekend or a festival, I tell them immediately because I'm like, well, try to get either. And again, it does change because it depends on your credits,
Right.
and it depends on your draw, and all of those things go into it. But if you can look at someone about at your level
and have
and if there's a
Yeah.
huge discrepancy, like if Bill and I were doing the same gig in Cleveland and I was getting paid $500 and he was getting paid $3,000, like then it's something like, hey, what the hell?
Well, that I fully understand. A, you're talking about a one-off. B, you're talking about apples to apples.
But I
But
think
if you're
that's what
talking
they're
about what
talking
people,
about, too.
if you're talking about like what people get paid annually,
If you're all software engineers at the same company and you know, I've been doing this 5 years, that guy over there has been doing it 6, I'm going to ask him what he makes because we're kind of at the same level.
right?
I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't even think there's anything wrong with it. It just comes down to, or because the funny thing is, what they find is, even if people are like, yay, salary transparency, the more people make, it's inversely proportional to their transparency. So the more they make, the less likely they are to tell people about it.
Is that why you don't want to tell people?
No. It's nobody's business. And frankly, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what I make here because I'm not talking to someone else in my situation.
But you've openly asked Cody and I about money and salaries and things like that. Is it because
What do you mean?
you know we make less money than you?
I've openly asked you what?
About like where we talk about like when Cody would talk about his savings, or you would, how much money do you have in your savings? Like I feel like you would never answer that question because it's far more than Cody or I would have.
But those conversations were about people trying to save money, and he was making hourly. I know what he made because he made it hourly. If he was making an annual salary, or you were, that would be none of my business.
So that's the difference? Is a salary versus an hourly?
To me.
How?
Well, also because you guys get paid by the company, right? You don't get paid by me. Obviously, I would know what you make. I don't know how much Bill makes. And that would be information available to me, but it's none of my business.
Do you want to know? I'll write down on a piece of paper and slide it across the table.
I don't want to know. No, pound cake, those conversations were in
They would say not enough.
Those conversations were in the realm of him trying to get a better job in this business.
Right. And wouldn't it be helpful to know what someone who has had a job in a specific market for 15 years makes? That wouldn't be helpful information.
But he's not at my level.
Right. But it would be like, hey, okay, here's a baseline. Alan's been doing this 30 years. He's been in Cleveland for 15. We're a #1 show.
Again,
that
I don't
type of person makes X amount of money.
Because you can't do that. That's
but
the thing.
You
can't.
absolutely can.
You
Why
can't.
not?
Because there's no baseline. There's
well,
there's
that's
so
the whole
many.
Point is let's try to figure out a baseline.
Well, you can try to figure it out. I'm just saying there are so many variables. You know, so many people are laser focused on seniority that's what throws them off. Like, you're not a cop. You don't get a gold watch every 35 years, right? If I lost my job tomorrow, I'd have to go find somewhere else to work and tell them, well, this is my nut. This is what I would need. They don't care that I've been somewhere for 15 years.
But
if I had to move to another city, I haven't been there for any years.
Seniority in experience of the job. You
right,
are
but
someone
that's
who
a
is
very
experienced for X amount of time.
But that's a very hazy thing. Experience is very hazy. I'm not a computer programmer. I'm a guy making fart jokes on the radio. So it's very hazy. There's a lot of people in this business who have way more experience than me and don't make the kind of money I make. So, because it ain't me, and I'm not them.
Well, I get
so
that.
I don't know.
But I guess I don't see the harm in it. I don't
I'm not
see
saying
any harm
I'm not
in
saying it's harmful.
transparency.
I think if two people want to tell each other what they make, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But what are the reservations then? You just, because
I don't
it's none
have
of your
any.
business? You're not allowed to know because I don't want to tell you.
Oh, you mean about me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's how I came up. Because it's not apples to apples. If I told somebody, what, are they going to march off and go, well, I want that? Well, the person in charge is going to go, well, you're not worth that. This guy's worth this because this is how much money he generates for the company. That's where that all comes into play. If you're not costing the company money, you're in good shape, right? If this show didn't generate revenue, we all be out on our ass. So there's so many variables. But to your point, if there's two people doing the same job in the office and they go, hey, how much do you make? And one's way less.
Would you discuss it with Mark Nolan?
Would I discuss
Someone kind of at your level that you both have your own show. Yes, he's mornings. Yes, there's afternoons. Yes, you have many variables.
I have discussed it with a colleague of mine in this company in another market. And it was not a fun conversation.
What is it? I find it weird that it makes you so uncomfortable.
It doesn't make me uncomfortable. It's just not a conversation that I'm prone to having. So, because it's not going to change anything for him. It's not going to change anything for me. I'm not going to walk into management's office and go, hey, this guy's making this. And they'll go, yeah, well, that's him. You're you. I mean, what does that information get you? Yeah, he's him. You're you. You're both, you're both creating content specific to your personalities. That's why it's so wonky. Because your entire livelihood is based on this quirk of your personality that people happen to find entertaining. That's all it is. It's not, I've been here 15 years. It's got nothing to do with that.
I agree for this job.
Well, this is the job I do.
Right, but I'm saying, but for like more, I don't know what the word is, straightforward jobs.
Understood.
Where it's like, hey, man, it's data entry.
Yes.
You might be able to do it quicker than somebody else, but it's pretty much the same job wherever you get it. And
I don't think there's anything wrong with people talking to each other. My thought is always just, Is that going to get you anywhere?
I think put it on a board.
I think it'll.
Remember at the old station when we had it would show like which station had like the highest web hits for the day.
Yeah.
I think do that with salaries
For the day. God.
See how much everybody makes every day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think
the salespeople.
I think you're right. If there's two people doing the same thing, because then the reason that information is valuable is when you're looking to get another job with another company. Then you've got some leverage. But if you go to your boss at the same company and go, hey, they're just going to go, I mean, they're not going to go, yeah, you're right. We should double your salary. Like, that'll never happen. Ever. But I still think it's humorous that the more people make, the less likely they are to talk about it.
Well, that's kind of the point I was getting at with you, is that it seems like you would be a lot less likely to talk about it than I would when I'm like, yeah, I make $22,000 a year. Like,
Right.
It's not impressive. It's not, nobody's batting an eye at it.
Right.
But I don't know what that part of society is, where it's okay to talk about people who have less than people who have more.
I think it's just, well, I'm not even saying, I'm saying no matter how little I made, I wouldn't, my very first paid job in radio, Kalamazoo, Michigan. I got hired at $17,500 a year. And even in Kalamazoo, Michigan, boy, you're eating a lot of tinned peaches in heavy syrup. But I wasn't telling people that. I wasn't like, yeah, I knew that, but it wasn't anybody's business. But again, it's a generational thing, I think, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think if it helps people get a little bit further along and where they want to be, I think that's a good thing. If you're on hold, I'll get you on the way back. I got a break here. 35192 if you want to text. I'll have those Theory of a Dead Man tickets for you later on. They're doing an unplugged thing in November at the Akron Civic Theater. 5:30 is another $1,000 and a trip to Vegas for you for our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. We got stuff. You want stuff. Win stuff. This week at WMMS.com.
Register to win a pair of tickets to see Green Day with the Smashing Pumpkins and Rancid. Sunday, September 1st at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Get more info and register to win at WMMS.com.
Your dream Chevy is waiting for you with Mark Wahlberg Chevrolet of Avon. Browse the widest selection of new Silverados, all priced to move. Get up to $10,000 off MSRP or 1.9% APR financing on select Silverados. That's right, up to $10,000 off your new Chevy Silverado. Visit Rick Limbers and his team today at Mark Wahlberg Chevrolet of Avon to find the deal you've been waiting for. Mark Wahlberg Chevrolet of Avon, the #1 name for Chevy. See dealer for details. Offer ends August 31st.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Kia of Streetsboro, 99 cents get you driving. Kia of Streetsboro, 99 cents down. Kia of Streetsboro. Stop in and see
Call right now, 800-554-1422. Schedule your service before August 31st. Get a special 10% discount. 800-554-1422 or visit centralexterminating.com.
This is The Buzzard.
From the Bath Authority Studios.
The Buzzard.
The home of the buzzard.
This is 100.7 WMMS. Cleveland. Call the Alan Cox Show.
Eat that, you piece of crap.
216-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
Yeah, take that. 35192. Give me a text. AlanCoxShow.com. Want to watch live? Is that Guardians game over? Did they get mercy ruled or anything like that?
It's been over for a minute. Yeah, they got
6-0.
Yeah, they did not.
Ice cold bats there against the Yankees.
That first game was fun, but yeah, those other ones not too good.
Yeah, 9-5 was the first game. What a way to make a living. And then 8-1 last night, the Yankees. And Yankees shut them out today. 6-0. Guardians lick their wounds and are back at Progressive Field tomorrow night. First of 3 against the Rangers. Then they'll host the Royals and the Buccos shortly thereafter that. So 7:10 tomorrow night. We will be out of here around 6:30 with Mary Santora in tow.
That's me.
And Bill having started the weekend, the Friday Get Down.
It's going to be so started.
And then Saturday, of course, we'll set sail on the Good Time 3 for Captain Fun's Floating Fandango.
Boarding starts at 2:30. We ship out at 3.
3 sharp.
And
we're not going to wait.
At 4:30.
Yep. Not going to wait. So, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And I will have one final pair of tickets for you to win tomorrow afternoon on the show. Now, I don't know how they're doing the website. I don't know if maybe last minute they're going to be, informing people that they've won some tickets. I don't know anything about that. I know I have one more pair tomorrow afternoon around 3:20 that you can win. Hey, Renee.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you today?
Fine as frogs here. Thank you for asking.
Good. I just want to chime in a little bit about this, what people make and asking people what they make and so on and so forth.
Salary transparency.
Yes. And I was raised in the time frame of you didn't ask people. It wasn't polite. It wasn't polite conversation. And I think there's merits to both sides of the argument.
Well, and there's a lot of people, they're like, oh, that's outdated and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's fine. I mean, I've been working a long time. I'm 53. I understand what they're saying. I don't have a dog in that fight is my point. But
no,
I fully understand, people make the point that, keeping your salary a secret, just, that's why employers don't want people talking to each other. But that it also, your employer is not going to care, really, if you're talking about it. They just don't want people complaining to them. What it can do, I mean, there's a case to be made for what it can do is create animosity among peers.
Exactly.
And I guess that's a chance you take with anything. But
I've at least found in my world, I guess, the people who tend to ask, and I'm not talking about performers, I think that's a completely different genre of what, Mary and those guys do.
Yeah. Renee, how much do you make, by the way?
None of your business.
See?
What do you do for a living? I'm good.
But
Google
I think that people that tend to ask are people that feel like they're not being paid what they're worth.
Well, here's the thing, though. Nobody thinks they're being paid what they're worth. I mean, I
don't know about that.
Listen, you ask 100 people, hey, do you think you're paid what you're worth? 99 of them will probably say no, right? I mean, I make a pretty good living, but based on what this show generates for the company, if you were to ask me, hey, do you think that I'd say no. But that's only going to get you so far, right? So if there are two people talking who are at the same level in their company, if you can do apples to apples,
right,
that's one thing. But again, my perspective is from the fact that I work in a unique industry. So I don't have the perspective that other people have. That's why I'm leaving it to them to suss that out for themselves. I'm not saying one way is better to do than the other way. It's just that.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I completely agree with you. I seem to think that it's okay if somebody offers to tell you information. I don't think you should ask.
I remember working at a radio station many years ago, and it was like you're watching a television show, like a friggin' sitcom, where the whole episode is about somebody left the salary list on the printer, right? That happened. I saw it happen, and I saw the what went around. No, I didn't see it, but I saw what happened when that got disseminated. I didn't want to know what other people made because, like I said, I didn't think it was my business. I understand if people are like, well, I'm worried that I'm getting screwed. I fully understand that, except most people think they're getting screwed. So I don't know how many people you meet in any industry that go, I am paid exactly what I'm worth. So I don't know. There's a case to be made for both sides, I guess. Okay, Renee, what do you do for a living?
I actually run a dental office.
So Renee is in the tooth business, Bill.
I am.
She's in the tooth business. Okay. So you probably get paid in Sacagawea coins.
That's correct.
Right.
I get paid in silver fillings.
Right. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Renee.
Do you make $65,000 a year?
There's Renee and Vermilion.
If someone left a copy of the salaries on the machine, I would look at it immediately.
I understand. Like I said, in that situation, I was one of a couple of people who didn't, because I said, I don't want to know, because my perspective was it was not my business. Because what is to be gleaned from that? All right? I'll bite for people who go salary transparency, whatever. I'll bite. What's the upside?
Like I said, you can find out either what your future could be in a different position,
right,
or what other people are getting paid to do the same work as you, and then you can look inside and be like, well, is it because I'm not as qualified? Is it because this? Is it because that? Like, you can...
lawsuits, blackmail, there's so many more things you can do with it.
Right, but okay, so follow that to its next logical point there.
Which is what?
What do you do with that information? Do you go to your boss?
If you feel like you're getting really screwed.
Right, and so what will they say to you?
Well, either that
They'll never
or,
say, oh my God, because they know what you make. They know what everybody makes.
I don't think it's bad to have that knowledge.
What other people
also, you know
make.
who to buy drinks at happy hour, or...
I'll buy my own drinks, thank you very much.
Well, maybe you can, but what about the rest of them?
Everybody can buy their
on the totem pole,
Everyone
Alan?
can buy their own drinks.
Not here.
Please. Everybody can buy their own drinks.
Pound Cake couldn't.
Yes, he could. Have you been following him? He's having the time of his
he
life.
Could
what
now,
are you talking about?
But not when he was just doing this job.
Yeah.
Couldn't you?
He's doing fine.
You could barely buy gas.
Well, that's good. That's why he left.
Let me ask you this then, Alan.
Yes.
When you say you are reticent to share that information, let's say I got offered a talk show in New York.
Yes.
Would you tell me how much money you make? Because I have no base for how much to ask for. I have no idea.
Because there's no base.
But
that's what I'm trying to say.
That's the whole thing, is that if they offer me something, I have no idea if I'm getting screwed or not.
Well, in the mornings, she needs to know.
Here's what I would say.
Or afternoon drive.
Here's what I would say. I bet the person who would tell you what they made was the person you'd be replacing.
No, they wouldn't. They'd be pissed off, or they'd lie to me.
Well, okay.
This is a conversation you have with somebody you trust.
Right.
Yeah, and who
but here's
you're gonna go to the person that you're replacing that they just fired and be like, hey, what were you getting paid?
But you understand what I'm saying? Like, in showbiz, once you get good, you'll get the money. You'll never have to ask for more money. I mean, but what I'm saying is it's not necessarily apples to apples. If I said to you...
I'm not saying that so that I can take the exact salary that you have.
She just wants an idea of what to ask for.
If Alan makes X,
I would,
and here's all the factors, then what is appropriate for me to ask for?
Yes.
Or what do I think they would actually give me?
But here's what I'm saying. I could tell you that without telling you what I make. I would say, if they offer you any less than X, say no thank you. I could tell you if what they offered you was screwing you.
And what's that number?
Because there's, again, a lot of variables, right?
Yeah, no, there are. I get that. There's variables in everything. When you go to college,
it's
what
one
your
thing
degree is. I get that.
Like, I have a friend who works for Apple, okay? out in California, right there on the main campus. He has been a designer and a coder, whatever it is. I think he's a graphic designer for Apple. He has worked there for a long time, okay? It's one thing if you go, here's what this company pays this position. Because a lot of those companies will tell you. This business, at least in my experience, you're not going to go in and go, well, this guy was making this, and they go, all right, well, you're not that guy. This is what we're offering you. And then you have to decide if that's enough or not.
Right.
So it makes no difference.
But if you can come into a negotiation for a job, any job, and this isn't just show business, right? If you can come in knowing, hey, I know your baseline is $60,000 a year. I also know 15 people who are making 85. I'm more qualified than them. I have this, I have that. Here's my credentials. I want 90 or whatever it might be.
Right.
So if no one talks about it, you don't have that information. It doesn't benefit the greater good to keep it quiet because then everybody's keeping it secret and no one knows what the potential could be. I don't see a downside to sharing it.
Right.
Other than, sure, you might piss somebody off, but that's not your fault.
Well,
I'm not responsible for what I get paid. I mean, sure, in freelance business, but
right?
like,
But
we're
you can't
talking like a regular office
But
job.
you also can't negotiate for yourself based on what somebody else made. When I had it, when my
that's why. But this is why athletes all reveal what they make so that you know what the market value.
No, but that's a flex. When a guy goes, I'm making $40 million a year.
That is not a flex. That is so that their agents know what to ask for. Because that's the market value. And knowing market value is incredibly important.
It's super important. And that's across the board with any job.
With any job, yeah.
Where if you know, whatever, data entry makes $100,000 a year. I have this skill, this degree, this experience. I've worked with this company. I'm going to ask for 125.
Right.
And then if you have no idea and someone's like, oh, I have half that crap and I got 175. That's important to know.
Well, it also comes down to what you have delivered, the deliverables as well. If you're talking about pro athletes, you can look at a guy's stats. This guy makes this money.
Yeah, every job.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's why you can't apples to apples in a job like this.
But I'm not saying that you can. I'm saying it's just helpful to know kind of in a ballpark.
Yeah. I fully get that.
I have no idea how much anybody makes in this business. I don't know how much you make. I don't know how much Rover makes. I don't know how much a co-host makes other than me. You know what I mean? So, like, it could be millions of dollars. Somebody could be making $70,000. I don't know. But if I did know, it would make it easier to negotiate on behalf. I guess it just comes down to, like, what does keeping the information achieve? What does keeping it secret achieve? What's the pro side to that?
Well,
Secrets are fun.
Because I don't think it's anyone's. I like quiet money, right? It's just me. There's no one's business what I'm pulling in. However, what I'm saying is you can get the information you are looking for without someone telling you what they make. Somebody who knows what's going on can say they should at least be offering you this much.
I think that's a middle ground, sure.
Right, but that's giving you information that you say you want. A quote unquote baseline.
Yeah.
Right? They go, here's what this is. But again, people have access to so much information now. Online, you can go to job sites, you can go to people talking about their jobs, saying, hey, if you do this and you've been doing this for this long and X, Y, and Z, you shouldn't be taking a penny less than this. We don't have those in this business.
And a lot of people aren't transparent about that, though, where they're like, they don't want to tell you because a lot of people think, well, if you make more money, that's me making less money. Like if you were to get, let's say I make $100,000 a year and I tell you for this same job, you shouldn't get paid anything less than 85. Well, I'll be like, no, why don't you pay them 60 so that I can get a bigger bonus? Like, I think that's also a mindset of it, too. Like, there's not enough money for everybody, so I can't tell you what I have.
Yeah, my thought is
Especially
always,
in radio.
Well, but it also depends on, like, what you want to do and how you're going to. Okay, so, like, when I was on the air in Kalamazoo, Michigan, all right? And I was only there for 3 years. Felt like 10, but I was only there for 3 years. So I went from, I got hired at $17,500. And by the time I left, I was making $28,000. My wife We had gotten married like a couple of months before we moved to Pittsburgh, before I got the job in Pittsburgh. She was on the morning show in Kalamazoo. We were at the same radio station. She was on the morning, I was on the afternoon. She was making like mid-20s. So between the two of us, we were making almost $50,000. Now, the job in Pittsburgh was going to pay me less than that. But I took it because it was a huge leap in my career. I went from Kalamazoo to Pittsburgh, which was a big jump. I didn't have to go to Des Moines in between. I didn't have to go to Tulsa. So I go, we're going. It's going to be tight because we're going from 2 salaries to 1, and it's less money. And it's going to be more expensive. But that was the move. That was going to be the move.
Well, and I get that.
Everybody's got their own thing. You know what I mean? But I understand what you mean with if you're talking to somebody who is doing the same job. But again, there's a lot of other things. There's like companies have bonuses and things like that that all factor in, and you don't know. You know, companies factor in benefits as money that they're paying you. So you'll sit down with somebody and they'll go, well,
this is how much it's costing.
This guy doesn't have benefits and you do. We're paying him this, but we're paying you $18,000 a year in benefits. They figure all that in. So that's why I miss my agent. I didn't ever want to talk this stuff. I didn't want to talk this stuff with people who wanted to hire me. Yeah. I wanted somebody else talking about it. And your manager is supposed to be dealing with all this stuff anyway.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, but it's also nice to know every gig, because he says the same roundabout kind of stuff that you're saying, where it's like, he'll send me a script and I'll do a self-tape for it, and I'll be like, how much does this pay? And he'll be like, well, it's hard to say, and it's this and that and the other, and blah, 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 blah. And I get that, but I'm like, give me a baseline. And he'll say, okay, SAG-AFTRA minimum for this type of movie is X amount of dollars per week or whatever. So he's like, it's kind of similar where it's like, you're going to make at least this much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's really all I want to know. Kind of what you said. What is a minimum amount I should take for this job?
Right.
And let's ask for a little more than that.
Exposure.
If I've never done the job before, you know?
Or union scale.
Right.
Or SAGs, you know what I mean? Like,
I just submitted a writing packet yesterday for a late night TV show. And I hit up my friend and I was like, hey, how much do writers make? And she told me. She was like, it's this much. That's like the
starting
Writers
kind
Guild,
of
WGA minimum, I think she said, was like $2,000 a week.
Right.
And she's like, and even that is so much money. She's like, and it, you know, it depends on what the show is, what network it's on, if you opt for benefits, basically all the same stuff you're saying. But to know, okay, this is the baseline going in, don't take less than that money.
Right.
That's very helpful.
Yeah. Okay, I got a break. Hey, you want to go see Theory of a Dead Man? They're Canadian. They're doing an unplugged tour. Coming to the Akron Civic Theater, beginning in November. I'll have those tickets for you. And then 5:30, last keyword of the day. It's $1,000 because you're going to take that money to Vegas. You and a friend, we're going to send you to the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show.
On iHeartRadio. From the Universal Windows Direct Weather Center, WMMS Weather.
Sunny today with highs in the upper 70s. Tonight clear, 50s for lows, and Friday mostly sunny, highs around 80.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Would you rather have quality or speed? Get both at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Cleveland's trusted oil change provider. We'll change your oil in about 15 minutes. We're always quick, but never rushed. Drive in today. No appointment needed.
My name is Mark Vasilishin. I am the sheriff of Wood County, Ohio. There is probably no one in this county that does not know someone that has been impacted by fentanyl. How the fentanyl is getting here is through our border. I'm a Republican, have been my whole life. I don't agree with Sherrod Brown on everything, but when it comes to fighting fentanyl, no one has done more than Sherrod Brown. Sherrod went with me to the southern border so we could talk to border agents and see the problem firsthand. And then Sherrod Brown worked with the National Sheriff's Association to craft the Fend-Off fentanyl bill. That cracks down on the Chinese suppliers and the Mexican cartels that are bringing fentanyl into our communities. And Sherrod Brown worked with Republicans to get it passed. Sherrod Brown has really been the go-to senator for the National Sheriff's Association. He understands what's going on with the border. And Sherrod Brown understands the people of Ohio. He works for them, and he's going to do what it takes to stop the fentanyl coming into our country. Again, this is Sheriff Mark Vasilishin. I'm a Republican. I support Sherrod Brown. I hope you do too.
I'm Sherrod Brown running for Senate. I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Sherrod Brown.
Kia of Streetsboro. catch you. Yes, we give this stuff away.
All right, I'm going to go see the return of Theory of a Dead Man this time. No amps allowed. Theory of a Dead Man doing their Unplugged tour. It will get them to the Akron Civic Theater on Sunday night, November the 3rd. Ticketmaster.com has all the details you might want or need. And I got you tickets. Caller 10. These are for you. 2 for Theory of a Dead Man. Unplugged. Good luck. 216-578-1007. Or 800-348-1007.
Alan Cox.
A drummer. Or even a real musician, he just makes a noise. If he played the violin or the piano, anything that made sense, but the drums.
100.7 WMMS.
Bah.
You all right?
Yeah, it's a bah.
Another $1,000 here for you in about 5 minutes. 5:30, or as close as I can remember to get to it. For our iHeartRadio Music Festival. It's about a month away, 20th and 21st of September. Out there in Las Vegas, back in the T-Mobile Arena, with the Black Crowes and Thomas Rhett and Keith Urban and Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, Hozier. Who else is Fox? Shabuzi. And more out there. The $1,000 goes into your pocket because you're going to be in Vegas. But tickets and airfare and the whole bit. So a couple of minutes away from that. Last keyword of the day. Still have plenty of those for you, though. Anytime you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do it. Our after hours line, whether we're live on the air or it's the middle of the night and you just have something you need to get off your chest. It's 216-986-8903.
You guys talking about 21 times a month, and I was wondering, does that count if you just do it to yourself, or if you break that up between you and someone else? Gene from Parma.
We were talking about the story that kind of makes the rounds every so often about the optimal number of times per month that a guy is supposed to ejaculate for the best prostate health. Of course, Mary was foisting upon us her prostate information.
Don't worry about my prostate.
I don't.
Don't ask about my prostate. It's impolite. It's none of your business.
You don't have one.
You don't know that.
Does Gene from Parma, is he asking us to set him up with a masturbation schedule? What was because I don't feel comfortable doing that, Gene. I'll leave that to you.
I mean, how much does it pay?
I already had this conversation with Dick.
But I'll come. How about that?
Ooh.
What, you don't like that? You don't like
that? I just said whole.
Yeah. You don't like Dick talking about that? Come on. Gunplay at the Berea Marks.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. Couple of dudes. This was in the Berea. Well, this was in Berea Community News. I know, Mary, that now that you're living there in Astoria, Queens, you might be too busy to keep an ear to the ground on your hometown. And so I feel compelled sometimes to do that for you. A 50-year-old Olmsted Township man pulled a handgun on a younger man inside a Mark's in Berea. Somebody called the cops, saying there was a dude with a gun walking around the Mark's parking lot. When the police arrived, he told them he was brandishing the firearm because he felt threatened. People with guns always tend to feel threatened. Very, very quickly. Very jumpy. So they took the guy's gun, put him in cuffs. He said he had been walking down the aisle in Mark's, just doing some shopping, checking out the parakeets. You still have birds at Mark's?
I don't believe so.
No.
Didn't they used to?
Yes.
Another man, a little bit older, 63-year-old guy from Olmsted Township, was in the same aisle, and he had 2 dogs that he said were service dogs. The younger guy complains to the older guy that he's blocking the aisle, and he starts getting in the guy's face. You shouldn't have these dogs in the store in the first place. And then the two had words. And then, wouldn't you know it, because there isn't infinite space in a Mark's. They run into each other again in another aisle. And the arguing and the yelling starts up again. And so the 50-year-old guy backs away, tells the older guy to back away too. Older guy, well, I'm going to read this as written, puffed out his chest and backed him against a cooler. Then the older guy reached for a holster on his hip. The younger guy thought that the holster might have contained a firearm. That's a natural thing to infer.
Mm-hmm.
So he
Most
grabbed
holsters do.
his gun from his pocket and held the weapon at his side. He said he never pointed his gun at the older guy, but he walked around him in the aisle. He said he heard the older man order his 2 dogs to attack him, which I'm going to say didn't happen, but okay. Older guy said that those were his service animals, and the younger guy was taking pictures. Older guy said his holster contained a cell phone, not a handgun. You ever see the olds walking around? They've still got the cell phone holsters.
Yeah.
As if you ever have an opportunity to just whip that puppy out and make a call, send a text. He said he reached for his phone because he wanted to take a picture of the guy with his gun. He said he never threatened the younger man. Of course, Marks all have signs asking customers to refrain
from threatening other customers,
openly displaying firearms. Yep, because it is Ohio. And but boy, if you're walking down an aisle, just visualize this situation. There's an older guy there with a couple of dogs. Let's say they are service animals. This younger guy with a gun sounds pretty jumpy. That's not somebody I want armed. I don't know how wide these aisles are, but I mean, in your average grocery store, if you were to encounter a guy with 2 dogs, you'd probably just say, "Oh, hi, how are you?" Walk around them, maybe. Not start off on some tirade about how you're not supposed to have your dogs in the store.
But I also understand that people have service animals, and if they're in the store, they're probably that variety of dog.
Servicing you. I should rephrase.
Don't do that. It's not South Euclid.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This was Berea. So anyway, Mary, in your absence, things are popping off at the Marks.
They can't handle themselves. They got a Chipotle, now they don't know how to act.
Oh, they have a new one.
Yeah, right in that Mark's parking lot, actually.
Oh, do they really?
Mm-hmm.
A new Chipotle.
Mm-hmm.
We got a new Chipotle not far from us.
Yeah?
Out there toward...
yeah, but you've never seen anybody make guacamole there.
Avon Lake. What's that?
You never been back making guacamole. Like,
I don't know a single person who has made guacamole at
Actually,
Chipotle.
I have.
Oh, I'm
Shout
sorry,
out
what?
to Devontae and his amazing staff at the Berea Chipotle.
That's a
new
name.
one.
That's a name you made up.
Nope.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Del Monte is a very common name.
No one named Devontae.
Del Monte? Is that what it's called?
When it comes to avocados.
There you go. Warehouse full of tinned peaches. Yeah. Oh, you made your own. Well, you should tell people about that.
I should. You're right.
Yeah.
I'll hit him up. See what
Don't
they
hide
think.
your light under a bushel basket. Oh, so the belief there is in Berea that Chipotle really got people all in a froth.
Uppity.
I see. And so they walk into the Marks with a full head of steam and a belly full of jasmine rice. Is that what they do over there?
No, not jasmine.
Oh, what kind of rice? Just cilantro rice?
It's cilantro. Yeah.
Okay. Brown rice?
Like jasmine rice, that's like more pointy. They do like the regular like.
Pointy?
It is a little more pointy.
Okay.
It's like thinner.
All right.
Thinner and longer.
I don't know what kind of rice they have at Chipotle. I just point to it.
Brown or white?
Brown or white.
Regular ass white rice.
Rice and, okay. It's not basmati rice or anything like that?
These are all like.
Regular ass rice. All right. I mean, I'll opt for the brown. And that goes beyond rice.
Hey.
If you know anything about me, I'll always opt for the brown. You want to go to Vegas? What you do there probably stays there. I'll give you $1,000 to facilitate your debauchery And then you and a friend, choose wisely. You'll go to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. So listen closely and good luck.
Now your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword FESTIVAL to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's FESTIVAL to 200-200. WMMS.
Alan Baby, Courthouse Springs. Was out of town on the weekend, out in the woods, didn't have signal, and I'm on my fourth 16-hour day at my job. So I'm still catching up on the podcast. Just real quick, wanted to say you are sorely mistaken, my friend. If that show, your show, the show, was gone tomorrow, some, yes, would grieve for 36 hours. Me personally, I would be inconsolable for no less than 30 days, my friend. Love you. Hate me. Hate the show. Bye.
How about that, Mary? How about when it's all over for me here in Cleveland? Then I tell you what I make.
Sure.
I'll walk out and I'll
tell me right now. Just do it. I dare you.
Right now on the air.
No.
I dare you.
I still have
Group chat.
I dare you. You know me. I can never resist a dare.
Dare you to text it to the group
They
chat.
couldn't even keep me off drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And they had
done cocaine though.
They had that's
right.
true.
Teach them a lesson.
That's true. I've never done cocaine.
Drugs.
Okay,
Nope.
Alan, truth or dare?
Dare.
I dare you to tell me how much money you want.
There was no way to win that one, was there? Boy, you backed me into a corner. Well, listen.
Is it more than $1 million?
No, I don't make $1 million.
Is
People
it more
think
than
that I make
$500,000?
I'm not telling you how much money I make.
So it's somewhere
because
between
it's not going to
$500,000 and $1
change.
million.
It's not going to change your situation.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
All these people are like, why couldn't the company pay Pound Cake more? Because he had an hourly job. That doesn't change. I wish they could have. I would have loved for them to do that. I would love for everyone on this show to make exponentially more money.
Yeah, everybody would.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We were talking about before. You're never going to ask somebody if they get paid enough and they're going to go yes, no matter how much money they make. You can ask hedge fund guys, hey, do you think $2 billion a year is enough? They go, nope. I can't afford multiple yachts with that. Nobody thinks they make enough money because everybody thinks they're getting screwed, even if they're not.
Agreed.
I mean, you talk to anybody. Well, these people go, oh, I don't make enough. Well, what's enough? Enough for what?
Enough to live a normal life and not have to
What
worry.
is a normal life? Who lives a life where they don't worry?
I mean,
people that have
to
a
not
lot of
have to-
money, yeah.
To not have to worry about your basic needs being met. Food, bills, house, car.
Yes,
To not
something
have
goes
to
wrong.
worry about how you're gonna do that every month.
Well, understood. But again, even that's a moving target because everybody's basic needs are different.
No, those are human basic needs. Can I eat? Do I have a
Can I pay
safe,
rent?
warm
Right, but
place to sleep?
one person pays $500 a month in rent. Somebody else pays $1,200 a month in rent. So their basic needs are different. It's not the same.
Yeah.
One
I get what you're
person
saying.
drinks their salads. Another person's out there eating double bacon cheeseburgers
Or 2 lunches.
or whatever. Did you have 2 lunches today?
No, I had 1 lunch today. but
What
I'm
was
getting
lunch today?
Pretty hungry. There's a little Asian spot across the street, so I had the pork gyoza.
Oh,
which is like little
dumplings. Yeah, of
and
course.
then some edamame. It was really good.
Yum.
Yeah.
All right. Mary, I believe it's not Asian. I believe that's not the preferred nomenclature anymore.
What is?
Oriental, I believe,
Oh,
is what
sorry.
you want to call.
I didn't mean it.
I think I got that right. Didn't we come full
Yeah, but you're
circle?
supposed to put your hands next to your eyes and come back.
Oh, no.
So
No,
they
don't
know
do that.
Exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, don't do that. Oof. Okay, I'll tell you what. On the subject of squeezy salads, it does my heart good to have gotten the feedback from people who have ordered their own and gotten their own and told me how efficient and enjoyable they have been. They're squeezy salads. I had one earlier today. People hit me up. Now, not everyone. Some people have to be a little negative Nancy's and tell me that I'm psychotic. But the people who have purchased them, tried them, have enjoyed them immensely. Now, they probably won't stick with it. Probably a little novelty, right?
Mm-hmm.
For everybody. But pretty good. Get a lot in there. Not everybody wants to eat a salad. They're like, oh, it's so labor intensive. I got to stab the greens, and I got to have to dress it. You know how much sugar people add to their salads with dressing? Just think about that. People are like, I'm eating healthy, and then they guzzle it in dressing.
Guzzle it?
They guzzle it, Bill.
They're trying to distract us from not telling us how much money he makes.
They guzzle
Bring up
it.
the salads again.
Not a distraction. Just a pivot in the conversation. Listen, my basic liquid salad needs are met. That's all I'm saying. And I can't ask for much more than that. I'm not greedy. But thank you, Corey, for the call, by the way.
30 days.
30 days.
30
That's
days of
fine.
sadness.
That's just fine. That used to be the flex back in the day. Guys would be like, you fire me. There's going to be people out protesting. Not one person ever had somebody out front with a placard decrying the end of your program. I got a break. Want to send a text 35192 to do that. AlanCoxShow.com for all the other stuff. You got to go, yeah?
I'm out of here, yeah.
All right.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
The AC, or do you have to go too, Mary? Whoop. Hello?
Don't have to. I'm here. Can you hear me?
You have a show tonight?
I'm playing euchre tonight.
All right. Well, then Mary and I are going to come
I
back.
was like, if you want to end the show early, I'll go play some euchre. But if you want to do another segment,
What
let's do
time
another
is
segment.
euchre?
7 in Brooklyn.
Are you going to be able to get there?
Not right at 7, but if you want to take
Are
a
you
segment
trying to
off-
get there right at 7?
If you want to take a segment off, I can get there right at 7.
I don't like ending
That's
the show
up to
early.
you. It's your show.
Let me think about it, okay? All right.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS and everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.